sex live on the Game Talk podcast.
What?
What? I didn't say it. You said it.
No. This is fake news.
You are fake news.
This isn't fake news, sir. I don't know if you know what even fake news is, sir.
Welcome to Shane's level of CNN. There we go.
I can be CNN if I want to be CNN. I'd probably do a better job.
You can identify as whatever you want to identify as.
That's right.
We've established this.
Like Hillary says, you can suck my clit and my balls, right?
My clit.
My balls.
My balls. My clit and my balls.
Shit on my chest and on my walls. I had to make it rhyme, damn it, alright? Like, it just wouldn't have been right. Ooh, Fatal Fury 3 ACA Geo for $7.99.
So...
All right,
yes, we know we're live.
So let's go. Let's start it off with what you guys were wanting to talk about. That makes all the sense. So Common Core, explain that scenario again, Mr. Rambo, sir.
Common Core, and if y'all don't know about
it's cancer.
Yeah, it's cancer. Especially Common Core math. Like anybody who understands math and anybody who's really good at math, when you're placed with a Common Core question, you tend to feel like that you're about the most stupid person that has ever walked the earth because of the way that they go about trying to get the answer. They go the extra longest way possible for the answer, and really, in all honesty, 5 plus 3 in Common Core could work it around to where it equals 16.
Well, but don't you also can't you also explain if an answer that's wrong? If you can explain how it's right, that also works.
Yeah, 8 plus 5 can equal 16 because 13 plus 3 equals 16. So it's the stupidest, silliest thing ever.
And so I was opened up my Facebook, and the very first thing I saw was something on the local news, and this kid, I guess in elementary school, it says, use the repeated addition strategy to solve 5 times 3. Well, he wrote in the answer 15, and then he wrote 5 plus 5 plus 5. Well, that was incorrect. It was marked wrong.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to use 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And I don't, like, to me, he's got the right answer. Why does he have to use 3s instead of 5s to come up with the answer? Why go the absolute longest route to get to an answer? Math is not about going every which direction you can possibly go to come up to end at the exact same destination.
Well, what's really stupid is, I mean, besides the fact that it really, I hate to sound all conspiracy theory, but I'm going to don my tinfoil hat. Because with the way Common Core and a bunch of other academic programs and standards, the way they've been evolving, it really does look like any way they can to introduce the concept that there is no such thing as an objective reality or an objective answer.
I think they
said the game's loud compared to us.
Yeah, I turned the audio off.
With my tinfoil hat, this is my thought process, is that they are doing whatever they can to make the populace as dumb as possible.
Yeah, so that they can only punch the keypad instead of actually do the math in their head.
Right, if you make the populace dumb, there's no questioning authority. There is no questioning whenever the country says, look, we want to spend $90 billion for this toilet seat. And, everybody's going to be going, all right, okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sounds good. But anybody because if you notice, like, my kids are in elementary school are allowed to take calculators to school.
Yeah.
I was never able to use a calculator even in college.
No, with high school, because we had calculus.
I had calculus too, but I had to do it on paper.
You know what's funny about that, dude? Is like, I remember when I went to high school, they even thought you had a calculator, or if remember those old watches that had the little calculator.
Oh
on
yeah.
them?
Yep.
Like if they saw that shit, it was an immediate F.
Yep.
Like
And
they didn't give a fuck. They're like, you
so-
fail, you're done, get out of here.
So you did calculus with a calculator, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it depends. Like, see, here's the thing. All the classes that I was allowed a calculator in were all either math or science classes where you had to memorize the formula and the numbers, and then plug in the numbers. So having a calculator was only there for actually doing the arithmetic, which was, I mean, you'd literally have to be like, 200 IQ genius to be able to do,
I did. What? Wait a minute. No.
Well,
that's-
no, I
that's
mean,
not-
we're talking like-
because I
we're
did
talking like physics formulas with,
Right.
Yeah.
I passed AP calculus, and I had to do it all on paper.
Well, and you can do that if you only like.
They didn't have
fucking-
calculators back in that day. So.
Well, that's the thing. You can't.
It was fucking hard.
Like, because we would get like
writing.
we would get math problems with like 10 decimal numbers.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh,
And,
yeah,
I mean,
I
you
know. It
just
sucks.
can't. You can't do like 24 questions like that for a test
put it this
and
way.
have people pass it in an hour.
Let's put it this way: you can, because I can.
Not in that amount of time.
Yes, you can, because they did. This is what I did. But the thing is, though, is that you end up learning how to write really fast, do the problems really fast, and come to school with a bunch of fucking paper because the answers to that question, whenever you're working it out and showing your work, it would take up about 2 to 3 pages to get one answer.
See,
So-
we would usually have a proof where it would be like a couple pages and you had to do it all on paper, and it wasn't really numbers. There wasn't really any arithmetic in it because it was a proof. And then there would usually be like
Well, I wish I had your
10 to 20 differential equations or something like that, where it was all just reduce the equation to the smallest or the most simple expression. And then there would be probably another 10 or 20 like actual arithmetic problems.
Well, I really wish I had your teacher, because they.
Oh, it was
Yes,
great.
Shane,
I didn't
we
even
did-
take
we did
AP
have-
Calculus, and I was able to get a 5 on the AP Calculus test.
We did have calculators back then. I mean, they were just invented not too long before then, but
Well, yeah, but Rambo, when you went to school, weren't you guys still using Abacus?
I know, right? Stone tablets and chisels.
my teacher wrote the 10 Commandments, so I mean,
There you go.
There you go, right? Yeah.
yeah. So
But here's
no,
the thing, though. Like
calculus
the
is-
worst thing
sucks.
about Common Core is, see, everybody there's like 5 or 6 different ways that you can do most of the like multiplication or addition or division. There's methods of doing that in your head, and not every person can do every method. And Common Core is one specific method for everything: addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and all that. And they're trying to and it's an advanced way of thinking about it, because what they're trying to build to with the 8 plus 5 can equal 16 is the relation that numbers have to each other regardless of their position on the, to think of 163 and 120 as being 43 numbers away from 43 units away from each other, instead of thinking, okay, one is, 163 is, doing it all like that. But not everybody can do it that way. And trying to force kids into learning math the way that they're not going to be able to do it is just a recipe for disaster, period. And yeah.
well, the teaching Common Core, and this it actually ties in with what GoGet said here. Teaching Common Core is hurting kids in general beyond just math.
Oh yeah.
Because, like GoGet said, anything beyond basic math is not needed in most everyday jobs. Which,
It's
if
true.
you're looking at 1-to-1, yes, you're correct. Like most jobs you go to, you don't even actually have to know math because you have a
Even
calculator or
algebra
whatever.
is only ever
But
rarely.
the only the reason why you take algebra and all these other math courses is because there is an outcome that is guaranteed, and each problem presents you with a choice: stay and figure it out, or run away and not figure it out. These help you in life by taking those courses. Like, it helps you in life that know that whenever I was faced with what seemed to be an impossible problem, I stayed, put my mind to it, finished it, completed it, came up with the right answer. It's supposed to teach you also life lessons as well. Whenever you get out in the real world and you come across a problem in your everyday life, of course you're not going to treat it like a squared minus b squared equals c squared. You're not going to treat it like that, but you're going to remember that you were faced with problems in your life, in your schooling. You overcame them by working them out, by working through them, working all the way out, not skipping from point A to point B, but going all the way through, and you were able to figure that problem out. So therefore, whenever you're faced with that problem in life, if you actually work through the whole problem, you can figure it out and come up with the appropriate answer. That's the reason why you take those courses. It's beyond. There's more to it than just math.
You don't say.
Well, the whole school
It's
system is fucked up anyway.
It's a philosophical reason.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know dinosaurs could be philosophical.
They were. I mean, the T-Rex was like a very sophisticated.
That means live long and prosper.
Yeah. But that's really the reason why you're presented with a whole bunch of problems in school is to help you deal with problems, to help you deal with anxiety, help you deal with fear of getting things wrong or failing or whatever. It's
Okay.
to help you overcome those things.
Rambo, I took trig, okay, in
I'm
college.
sorry.
It's
Yeah.
not even called trig
All right.
anymore.
All right. Well, just you guys know that's difficult. And I'm sorry, a
Yeah.
Valium works way better for anxiety than a goddamn math problem.
It's to teach you to get past
Correct.
that
He's
having
not
to use a
wrong.
value. I'm not
I
disagreeing
use
with
Common Core to come to that answer there.
you. I am not disagreeing with you there, but that it's to
What
help.
the
It's
fuck?
to
Is
help
that,
you
is
be
that
able
objectively better?
It's to help you be able to get it, get life, and be able to handle life. I did, yeah. I mean, I did trigonometry too, while I was in college, but it wasn't fun.
I didn't have to. It wasn't too bad for. I don't know. I get math was the math and science.
Math was like my subject. Math was.
Yeah,
I'd
I'm
say
way
it
better
wasn't-
with numbers than words. So
It wasn't fun for
I
me.
could write, and I got grammar really easily, but I failed at like reading and book reports and shit like that. Why am I gonna get choke slammed?
Did you say objective?
I did say objectively,
That
but
would be the reason why.
well, Shaner said that Valium was better than a math problem. Are you saying that was objectively better?
No, I'm saying that as fact. Ask anyone. Would you
All
rather
right,
get
so
high
you are-
or do
you are
this math
saying-
problem?
You are saying it is objectively better.
Well, trigonometry is basically the calculus of geometry.
Yeah. That's why they renamed it to pre-calculus.
Yeah.
Because all
My
of that sine and cosine and tangent, they all,
Yeah.
like, differential equations, it comes right from all that.
Yeah, my kids were talking about taking pre-calculus, and I was like, I said, take calculus if you're going to take anything. Don't take pre-calculus. I was like, it's not what you think it is. It's not like an introduction to your calculus class.
It makes it, I think it's better that way because
You think
makes
I mean,
it makes
I
it
don't know.
easier to understand because if you take calculus straight, then you don't learn about the relationships of the sine, cosine, and tangent. And that becomes important when you're doing differential equations because those are all interdependent when you are doing a differential of an equation with those functions in it. And it really
I don't know,
helps when you can see like the angles and all that kind of stuff. It helps when you're doing the visual portion because a lot of calculus involves rotating a line function around an axis and making a 3D object in your head of what that would look like. And all that ties in together. I mean, really, you could do them in either order, but I think I think pre-calculus is a good.
You think you see?
It helps getting the basics down.
I don't know. I did calculus first, so I think that might be the reason why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking is just because of my.
But they did change pre-calculus. That's the thing. It's like it's not exactly the same as trigonometry.
No, but I mean, basically, it's trig with calculus, some calculus in it. I mean,
yeah, and they took away a little of the strictly
trigonometry.
the geometric stuff. Yeah.
They don't even really teach like true trigonometry anymore, unless you get into like college or whatever, and then that's whenever because that like you'll get into like trigonometry and shit like that or whatever they call it now.
Differential equation and there's
in order
another
for
one. Yeah.
In order for you like your, I think your. I can't think what degree that is.
Engineering.
Yes, thank you. I had it in my head. I'm like,
my mom and dad were both engineering, and they both had to go. I mean, it's not the top level, but it's like 1 or 2 classes down.
Yeah, you just have to take it. Yeah.
And I think it ends with differential equations, and yeah, it's a whole bunch of like math gets weird when you get up that high.
Yeah, when you get up that high, math gets where it becomes like you're wondering if it's actually math anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot less numbers,
and really, it's not.
There's a lot more. Yeah,
a lot more Greek letters.
Yes. I took that fucking Greek math class, and that was fucking weird.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called, but
to say the least,
it was one where I every day I left and I was going, I don't know if I signed up for the right class. Cause
don't you know, people in Greece know everything about math. Just look at their economy.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be because of the math that they use, because that shit, the math with the Greek symbols and Greek word like lettering, fucking weird. It is just weird, and it's.
They may have invented Common Core and tried to run their entire country on it. Just saying.
And this is our interpretation, was translating it into English.
Hey, it's always about that moment when you realize that Conan Exiles works better on Xbox than it does on PC.
Uh-oh.
What? Did I just say that out loud?
Maybe.
That it looks better on Xbox than it does on PC?
No, it runs better on Xbox than it does on PC. I didn't say anything about looks. I'm just saying it actually.
Oh, well, that's more than likely because, like Conan of Exiles and most of the bigger games like that, when they launch on a console first, one or the other, then either Sony or Xbox will get a dev team to work with, one of their in-house dev teams to work with the development team of the game, and who to make a game run better on their system than a in-house developer.
I'm going down a dangerous path. What? I'm serious. It runs better on console than it does on PC. I know this because I own both.
What game?
Conan Exiles.
Conan Path of Exiles? It's actually a lot more stable on console than it is on PC. PC, it's like, oh man, it's a mess.
Is the stream PC or console?
This is console, dude.
Okay.
Did you see the
digital? It doesn't look too bad, does it?
Did you see Digital Foundry fucked up? What's it called? The Rise of the Tomb Raider Xbox One X versus PC versus PS4 Pro comparison?
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because Cyrus is trying to give you trouble. Okay.
Hey, Cyrus, I think you need to make a quote there.
He already did, sir. He already did.
Oh, yeah, you need to tweet that one out.
What, did you say you wanted the hog and dog picture? Is that...
No.
Nobody wants the hog and dog picture.
Because he's got like more than one.
Picture needs to die, sir.
Yeah. No, he's got another one now. I think
I know he's got 2 more. I saw 2 or 3 more.
Shh, like don't tell Rambo that I'm saving him.
You need to clean your search history like 3 times, bro.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know what
Just
the
to
fuck
be
he
sure.
searches for on his damn.
Yo, you need to,
Computer, but-
you know, he needs to clean that shit out with bleach. Like,
Right?
okay? Like, possibly
Bleach
He's
fit
tagging-
that shit.
He's
Does
tagging
Lysol
me in-
make something for web browsers? Is that a thing?
Call up Hillary's team and ask them what they used, and whatever they used, use that shit on yours.
Because he's tagging me and shit in Facebook that just pops up in like an advertisement on his Facebook, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you be, because like your advertisements are geared toward your searches. So whatever the hell this man searches is some twisted shit, man.
They've been fucked up ever since Brimstone came over and was looking at dildos and hardwood
Oh,
flooring on
yeah!
Amazon.
Blame me! Blame me for this, huh?
Yeah, you'd figure you would have had them worked out by now.
Oh, you wait, motherfucker. Next time I come over to your house, you're gonna be having gay porn all day.
3 times. 3 times.
No, because then he'll tag me in the shit when it pops up on his.
No, Rambo, you're wrong. I will tag you in that shit on his computer.
I actually got tagged in something by Rambo the other day that says, when this pops up on my computer, I'm fucking scared. And it was an image saying Shane, has tagged you in something else.
Yeah, like, I never know what the hell it is. I'm like, shit, do I go look or do I just let it sit there? Like, clear the room. Somebody sent me a notification. I have a notification. Everybody clear the room.
It's like, I don't trust this motherfucker to save my life.
I never know what the hell is gonna. And for some reason, like, my wife can actually tag me in something, and sometimes it says, like, Facebook will go, "Do you want to approve this to be on your timeline?" I don't know why it does it. Because my wife.
I think it depends on your privacy settings.
Well, no, but Shane can tag me in fucking nipple massagers and everything else.
But he's not posting it to your wall though. That's the difference. Are you sure your wife's not actually like posting to your wall like a picture or something? Because sometimes you can have it set to
like
where...
going to my page and then writing on there.
He's
Okay.
posting to your actual page, whereas Shaner's just tagging you, and I don't think
that might be the difference.
Yeah, I don't think you can stop people from actually tagging you.
No, that's fine. But I was just wondering, Facebook thinks a picture of my family might be, risky for me to, do I want to approve it or not?
Well, they probably do think it is. They
Nipple
can't be showing that.
Blow right on through.
Hey, we can't be showing a happy family. That might discourage single mothers or
So,
make
you
an
guys, you're not gonna
orphan
believe this
feel, I don't know, triggered.
You guys are gonna believe this shit. I literally ran to the water because I was overheating, and I died at the shoreline. Like,
Oh, is that what that was?
Yep. I overheated and I died at the fucking shoreline. I could have rolled into the water and saved my own life. But
You're
no.
terrible.
You're terrible.
Wow. Okay.
You're
And it's not like someone was using the breast massager, Rambo. It was just...
Oh, I'm.
Breast
Cyrus,
pump?
I'm going to retweet that so that way all my followers and PC followers can see that. No, but Digital Foundry screwed up, and of course the Xbox fanboys ran with it. But have you ever played Rise of the Tomb Raider? Have any of y'all ever played it?
I have
no.
I have it, but I haven't played it.
Okay, well, during cutscenes, the way Laura looks depends on what happened leading up to the cutscene. So if you got into a fight and a fist fight with a person or whatever, and you got hurt, then the cutscene is going to show Laura hurt. But if you say shot him from a distance and you never touched anybody or nobody ever touched you, then you have no blemishes at all. You just have the smooth skin. Well, for some reason, I don't know why Digital Foundry wanted to use this, but the PS4 Pro actually has a 4K setting. You can either do 1080p 60 or 4K. And so they compared it, the Xbox One X 4K to PS4 Pro 1080p settings and the PC at 4K. Obviously, without all the settings on PC. Without maxing the settings on PC. I don't know why they would want to compare apples to oranges here, but they did.
Well,
whatever-
because console 4K is it's probably somewhere close to
but
like
that's not
medium
but that's-
settings on
right. But that's
4K
not
on
what
PC.
they right. But that's not what they. If they're comparing it, then they should be comparing the top end of every one of the things. Like they shouldn't be showing just like, okay, look, it looks like a PC. I mean, because they don't list out what settings they set with the PC. They just say what settings they left off, and so it makes it look
It's
like that
tricky
the Xbox
because
One
okay, if you did it
can
max
compete with the
settings,
PC.
well, here's the thing, because if you did PC at max settings, then there'd be lots of games that wouldn't be able to make like 30 or 60 FPS, and maybe the Xbox does, but that's because the Xbox is more akin to like the low settings on PC.
Right.
And if you just turn it to like medium, it
Okay,
way
the thing
beats
is-
frame
okay.
rates and still looks better. So there's really
Okay.
there's no
What I'm-
in any case you look at, you're going to be looking at apples to oranges.
What
So-
I'm saying though is that they were comparing 4K because Xbox One X is 4K 30, and they were comparing it to 4K 60 on the settings to make it 4K 60 on PC,
Uh-huh.
and the settings of 1080p 60 on PS4 Pro. But what they didn't do, because they said they forgot, was on the Xbox One X, Laura went into the cutscene hurt, so she had like mud and blood on her face.
Okay.
And in the PC and the PS4 Pro version, they apparently shot the people leading up to that cutscene, so she was all smooth. And so they put these out there as these comparisons. Aaron Greenberg was tweeting
That's
them
not
out.
going to change anything, right? That's not going to affect performance.
Huh?
The difference in Laura?
Nobody was talking about performance.
Well, what does it matter if Laura was hurt or not?
Because the cutscenes look differently if Laura was hurt or not.
Why does it matter if the cutscenes look different?
Because that's what they were comparing, the cutscene images. They were showing still images from each the same cutscene from each platform.
Oh,
Laura's face,
okay,
and saying,
okay,
Here's your
okay.
comparison. So they were using image comparisons. That's the reason why they need to use the full settings on PC to show what the true actual full capacity of the PC compared to the full capacity of Xbox One X and the full capacity of the PS4 Pro. But what it was is they ran with it saying that like the Xbox One X was getting all these extra textures, like Laura was going to have dirt on her face and blood on her face, and it's going to look all this great. And then everybody, like in NeoGAF, like these PC gamers were like, "What the hell are they like? Why did they do this?" Like they started posting their own pictures, going, "Here's my PC, and here we are with the dirt and the blood on their face, and then here I am without it. It all depends on how you go into the cutscene." And so, like the Xbox fanboys kept running with it, saying, where Xbox One X is getting extra textures, PC can't even handle these extra textures. PS4 Pro can't handle these extra textures. And then
It's literally just the mud and
it's
blood.
literally just depending on how you go into the cutscene.
Right.
Every platform has it, even the base PS4 and the base Xbox One.
Right.
And so Digital Foundry was like, well, we were really trying to compare her jacket. I'm like, then why did you post a picture of just the square of her face? Like you had just the collar, barely you could see any of her collar of her jacket in these pictures. And I'm like, if you were focusing on her jacket, then why didn't you put the picture of her, like,
Because they weren't. Because they did it that way on purpose.
they wanted to feed into the thing
They
to
wanted
get the
to make
clicks.
it look like
Yeah.
Xbox One X had the best, the most textures or whatever.
Well, they wanted the clicks and everything because
Exactly.
they knew what it would do and cause
Yeah,
a bunch of
it would
people to the channel.
controversy. Yeah.
Yeah. So they finally went back and fixed it, but now these people they finally started comparing it to the 4K version of the PS4 Pro, and you're looking side by side because they now have pictures of side by side of the 4K version of the Pro and the 4K version of the Xbox One X. And I mean, unless you are Digital Foundry or you're sitting right and directly in front of your monitor, your 4K monitor, and you have the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro on, each two different monitors, and you pause every scene and you look at each different little thing, you're not going to notice a difference. At least in that game.
Excuse me, but I believe her vagina is shaved in the old school one. Why is it not shaved in this one?
There was a nude patch, man. PC Master Race.
Is it
But-
4K? Because if it's not 4K, I don't give a
Must
fuck.
be.
Well,
Well,
her vagina's
this
an
is-
8K actually.
This is for the old one, so
I don't care. It's polygons.
But that was
maybe they have 4K texture packs for them. Mods,
Right.
yo.
Like I said, bro, polygons and pussy. Who cares?
But that's the way I guess that they're going about it. And what's funny is like Aaron Greenberg did this thing right after Gamescom and says, "Look, we're not going to take shots at Sony. That that's what Sony's actually from what I gathered from a Phil Spencer interview, they've actually called Sony's VR team over to Microsoft, and they have flown over to Microsoft and have been working with Microsoft to help them with their VR development." So Aaron was like, "Yeah, we're not taking." He did this interview after Gamescom. Somehow, are you going to be popping up pictures of comparisons of Xbox One X versus PS4 Pro and these different games? He's like, "No, we're not. So we're not going to take shots at Sony." The community, he goes, "I figured the community will, if they want to do that, they can handle that. They'll be posting screenshots, I'm sure, on Twitter and stuff like that. But as a company and as us, we're not going to do it." And that was at the end of Gamescom. And then after Gamescom was over and Aaron was back, Digital Foundry did their test with the Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, and PC. And then he didn't tweet out the article. He tweeted up just the picture of the comparison and talking about like there ain't no greater power than X. And I'm like, dude, do you not remember what you just said like like a couple of days ago? Like that's the one thing you weren't going to be doing, but yet you were now doing it. I don't know. Aaron Greenberg is the one that like tries to fuel the fanboy war.
Yeah.
Isn't he like your father or some shit? Like,
No.
No?
I don't like it. I mean, I don't like it whenever. It's one thing for the fans to be fanboys or whatever, but whenever the company execs start chiming in with the fanboy crap, it doesn't do anything to help the community out. It just makes the fanboys even worse.
So, Rambo, in the console version of Conan Exiles, they make you wear a loincloth. Are you disappointed they took away the dong slider?
No, I didn't really.
Sure.
I'll be right back. I gotta go do something.
I really have no.
Keep talking,
I didn't really have.
That's a
I didn't
terrible
really have that much
reduction.
didn't really have that much of an interest in the game to begin with. It wasn't really. It kind of looks like a homemade version of a game.
Yeah, I'm not too interested in it either.
The looks of that game are just very, very, very minimal.
Almost like PUBG.
Yeah.
It's smoother though. I'll give it that. It's definitely smoother.
What's wrong with PUBG?
That doesn't wrong with
clunky.
PUBG. I don't know the play.
It's not buttery smooth, and I need my shooters buttery smooth, sir.
What about GTA's 5, that Motor Wars adversary?
The PUBG update.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. There's like planes and shit, and you can do like duels and stuff. That actually sounds pretty fucking cool. I don't have GTA 5, but if I did, I'd probably be checking it out.
I can tell you the GTA 5 is definitely getting. You're definitely getting your money's worth by buying GTA
Yeah,
5.
I mean that's like the third major update within the last few months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a bunch of updates since it launched, but yeah,
they're not
last few
fucking
months,
around.
Yeah. No, that thing they're trying to make it last, and
Yeah, people are. Yeah,
Right.
if you got GTA 5, you definitely got your money's worth. I'll tell you what. And
the only thing that sucks is
Rockstar always brings it. That's for sure.
the only thing that sucks is like since I transferred my character from PS3 to Xbox One, now I have to start all over on
PS4.
PS4, and so I have no interest at all in jumping into that multiplayer, starting up at level 1 again. So
You can't transfer it again?
Nope.
Wow. That's janky.
Yep, and I didn't even play. What was sad is I transferred my character from Xbox One because I was supposed to play with somebody, and then I just, once I got the
And of
transfer
course, they
done,
didn't end up playing with you.
and then they never even fucking bought the game.
Yeah, I did that in WoW a bunch of times.
And so
I made like 6 different characters because every time a buddy would say, "Hey, join me on this server," and I'd make a character and get to like 20, and then they'd quit or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so now I've tried to message Rockstar saying, look, I transferred the character, but I didn't even play it. I didn't even do anything with it. The only thing I did is transfer it because I was supposed to play with somebody. Like, sorry, once you transfer it, once you can't do it again. I'm like, well, there goes me playing your game because I'm not about to start all over and grind from level 1.
I wonder if there's a way to like transfer the save file on your PS3 onto the hard drive of your PS4 and see if you could load it up that way. Because sometimes games will let you do that.
I tried that.
That's terrible. Oh God, fucking Sony, man.
It's not Sony.
Well,
it's their game.
No, but it's Sony's system though.
The reason why the save files don't work is because one is on they're on 2 completely different technologies. So I mean,
yeah. But PC as in persistent cock. That's right. Has to be persistent.
Yeah, I am gonna have to record me playing this because I launched the new mode on GTA 5 on Xbox, and it took long enough to join the damn match. But the loading times have always been kind of shit for GTA 5.
Oh yeah.
On consoles, so I kind of expected that, so I'm not upset about that. But so you go and you jump out of the helicopter thing or the plane. This time it was a helicopter, and it doesn't tell you, or at least I didn't see how you pop open your parachute. But I hit a bunch of buttons and I got my parachute open. With a parachute, you're supposed to float safely to the ground, yes? Right?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, not how it happened. My parachute was open and I still plummeted to the earth and fucking died. So I'm going to record this because it's going to be interesting.
They might have shot your your parachute out from over you. Did you still have your parachute when you was going by the time you get close to the ground? Because in this new update, they can actually shoot your parachute as your parachute.
Oh damn!
You could shoot your parachute as you parachute, so you could parachute while you parachute.
No, the people on the ground can shoot your parachute.
Or in the air.
Yeah, or in the air. Yeah.
Terrors of the skies. Got to be careful even when you're coming back down.
Yeah. Man, so what were you guys talking about? I just got back.
The new mode in GTA 5. Have you played it yet, Brim?
No, I haven't.
It's like PUBG, but GTA 5.
And airplanes.
That's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, I just went to go. Well, I launched it on my Xbox and started to play my first match. And I finally figured out how to get my parachute open when you're falling from the sky. And instead of floating down safely to the ground, I still plummeted to the ground and died with the parachute open. So Rambo was saying, well, and Pete, maybe they shot my parachute while I was in the air. So.
But isn't that because you're gay?
It is totally a prejudice thing because I'm different. I wouldn't say gay, different.
You sure?
Last I checked.
All right.
Still like titties and ass.
Sure.
Well, I'm not judging you, obviously.
I do love me some titties.
Yo, I love titties, dude. I could like, I don't know, like maybe it's just because I'm a guy, but like I could stare at a nice pair of tits for hours. Like
hours, dude. Hours.
Dude. Not minutes, hours.
I could play with them for hours.
Yeah, I don't even need to be turned on, dude. I can literally just fondle tits all day. For no
if I woke up tomorrow as a chick, I would all day. I'd be playing with my boobs, all day.
Yo, my girl asked me a while back when we were in high school. She's all, Andrew. She's all, what would you do if you were a chick? I said I would play with myself all day. I would never leave my room.
Right?
I would never leave my room. I asked her the same question, and she's all same thing. She's like, I would like wiggle myself in the mirror because it looks funny. Like,
It is kind of. I'll give her that. It's kind of funny. She's not lying.
No, I had to go refill my rum, guys. I'm back.
So, what do you think about Xbox? Do you think that they're actually headed in a good direction for, say, the Xbox?
If you saw my Twitter post, you'd know that answer.
Well, I didn't see your Twitter
Well, he
post
did.
because
No,
the reason,
I don't think.
I think it's too early to tell. I think it could go either way right now.
No, here let me tell you something that you probably don't know because you're not on social media like that. But okay, so Xbox Play Anywhere. Xbox, they announced this thing. They were like, it's really easy to port from PC to Xbox and Xbox to PC. Xbox Play Anywhere is a thing. You know, the Xbox is going to start receiving some PC games that they otherwise, normally wouldn't. And every future Xbox exclusive is going to go to Windows 10. And that was great. Everybody was like, well, okay, that's cool. Yeah. Well, so every Xbox exclusive has gone to Windows 10. But now then at Gamescom, they announced Age of Empires, which we talked about, it being now a PC exclusive on Windows 10. It's not coming to the Xbox. And then, to top it all off, they're getting into mixed reality, which I guess is a version of
that at all. By the way.
A version of
VR. Yeah.
It's just called mixed reality instead of virtual reality.
Right.
I don't know why they went with that word, but
No, I thought it was a mixture of augmented and virtual reality.
it could be. I don't know.
Who knows? It might just be their version of like the Kinect versus the Wii or whatever.
But the next Halo game is going to be a mixed reality exclusive, and that's only going to be on the PC.
Ooh. Interesting.
Halo. Not Halo 6, obviously, but still, like, instead of having 343... But still, instead of having 343 build a game for their console, basically what made the console...
Well, maybe they are. Maybe this one will just be like a quick, just something to put out to say they have VR, and then they're going for like a full game that's both VR and regular, something like that.
I'm sure that they are going to be making, they are going to be making a game. The thing is, though, is that if you're having problems getting exclusives onto your console, and you only have a team of five different studios as your in-house developers, why do you turn around and have one of them, arguably your biggest one, working on a VR game before you have them put out another game on your console?
I have to think that it might have something to do with like decisions that were made like 3 to 5 years ago, and they thought that maybe VR was going to take off on PC but not on consoles yet. And so,
well, that's the thing, though, is that the roadmap. I think this is because of the roadmap of whenever they announced the X, like way back at the first E3 or whatever, because they announced it and they said that the X was going to be the premier place to play VR, the best VR experiences. Even Fallout 4, the guy Todd, whatever his name is, Hines, I think, was in that little commercial for it, saying that Fallout 4 was going to be exclusively for the Xbox One X. That's where it was going to play the best everything. And then when the Xbox One X actually was announced and fully announced and shown, they said, "Oh yeah, we're not doing VR. We're not doing VR on the console."
I think reality kind of kicked them in the ass because today's consoles just are not powerful enough for VR.
The Xbox One X is.
Even that's pushing it.
It's not pushing it because they've lowered the needs for even the top, like back when VR launched, like back when you had to do the Oculus test on your PC, right. You needed a really high end PC. They've lowered that considerably.
But again, dude, the Xbox One X is still just tuned up Xbox One. I mean, it's working on architecture that's like literally 15 years old.
It's working on x86.
I know, and that's dude. PCs have not been x86 for 12 or 13 years at least.
Wait, what? No, they just moved out of x86 just in the
Yeah.
last couple years.
No, they've been 64. Dude, there's been a 64-bit version since Windows XP. And I don't even think they've made x86 hardware for at least 7 or 8 years, at least. Because I don't think you couldn't get a non-64-bit processor. Like, they stopped making them almost a decade ago. I mean,
Well,
that's a huge. I mean, that's architecture. That's
the-
a 64-bit processor is.
Then you would have
and
to
that's
explain-
the exact kind of thing that you need for something like VR.
But you'd have to explain why PlayStation VR is actually is
Well, it might just
considered-
be the console
but it's-
version of VR. It might just not
it's
be as
considered-
powerful.
it's considered the definitive place to play VR.
Well, because I don't know. I mean, technology. Sony has the better technology, I guess. But that's the thing. The interest in VR has not been what most of the tech companies expected it to be.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
I seem to recall reading at least 2 or 3 articles where, like, higher up people in Sony, Microsoft, and a couple of PC companies were saying how, like, the sales of, like, the Oculus Rift, the HTC, I can't remember.
Vive.
There was like, yeah, and there was another one. The sales of those, all of the devices was, I don't know what the exact numbers were, but it was at
the
least
sales
a
of the
good.
PC were the sales of the PC ones were really low. But the sales
Yeah,
of
PC
the
was really low.
PlayStation, the sales of
PlayStation
the
was
PlayStation was well
the
over
good-
a million.
good, but I don't think they was as high as they
It's-
thought it was going to be.
No, it was higher.
Was it?
Yeah, PlayStation came out. That's the reason why there was like such a shortage of PSVR headsets.
So
It's
maybe Xbox is splitting, looking at it and splitting the difference and say, well, let's assume that it's going to be half as popular, or right in the middle of the two,
Maybe, but I don't know. I still would have instead of like continuing on with making the mixed reality for PC and trying to compete in that market. I've had my developers, or either that or hire developers for the mixed reality, but leave the developers that actually made my console successful and actually made us in PC us in gaming successful to make games for the platform that actually made Xbox what Xbox is.
I wonder, because, man, I'd love to see when the dates were for, like, when the projects for, like, this game and then the Xbox version of the AR or VR or whatever it is. Because I wonder if this is because VR came out on PCs so much sooner that they put, like, a small studio to work on a game, like, years ago. And it wasn't until, like, 3 or 4 years after that they started working on the VR for the console.
It's not a small studio. It's 343, the Halo team.
But is it all of 343, or is it?
Yeah,
just
they're 343. Yeah, 343 is working on this game. Like this is like the 343 only works on one game. They don't have like multiple projects going on. They work
are
on one
a
game.
one-trick pony. Yeah.
Yeah, they work on one game and they move to the next game. And it's usually like Halo 6 to Halo 7 to Halo whatever. But it's now instead of working on Halo 6, they're working on the VR game. Then they'll start working on Halo 6.
And I don't know.
So it's pretty much confirmed. Rambo is a how do you say this? A Sony apologist?
Sony apologist?
Yeah.
I don't know what I have to.
He's a
apply.
hog and dog enthusiast. Let's not sugarcoat
Oh,
it, people.
yeah. Same thing.
I say I don't know what Sony has to apologize for.
I'm just fucking with you, Rambo.
It's the Xbox apologist. Like I swear, they there was a post about like there was like 500 people online playing. What was it? Lawbreakers on PC. And so I made a quote. I quoted the tweet and said, "Man, this sounds like it did it even worse than Recore, if you can even imagine."
Damn.
And people were like, all the Xbox apologists came in my feed going, "Well, Recore was successful. Phil Spencer said so." And I'm like, I didn't say it was not successful. I was like, I don't know if it was successful or not. I was like, I'm not the one doing their financials. I'm just basically stating barely anybody bought Lawbreakers and barely anybody bought Recore. So
Isn't Lawbreakers going to be a free-to-play later down the line, I thought?
That's what I thought.
No, he said that he said it was supposed to be free-to-play in the very beginning. That's what the rumor was. But Cliff Blazinski said, "No, fuck free-to-play. Those games suck."
Wow. The irony.
But you know what's funny about that is I actually like Cliff because at least, you know, he may be an asshole, dude, but like at least he's fucking honest and he says what's on his mind. And he don't give a fuck who he offends. That's what I really like about him. Like even if I don't agree with him or not.
The only problem is that he's usually offending the people that he's about to launch a game on. Like whenever he was on Xbox, he used to talk shit about PC and PS4. And then he leaves Xbox and then he goes to launch a game for PC and PS4. It's like, if you're gonna talk shit, like at least don't talk shit about your future customers. Like, I applaud him in one hand, like that he does say what he thinks, but it's kind of like the open mouth insert foot type mentality with him, because like he talks shit about the actual people playing PC and the people playing PS4, and then he's like, "Oh, well, you buy my game?" And people are like, "Yeah, no, probably not." You know, you called me.
Are you kidding me? I'd buy his game just because he's honest. I support honesty regardless.
I won't buy his game.
I'll buy his game because for the simple fact that he's fucking honest, dude. That's the thing. Like, I don't get offended easily. You know that. I mean, you and me have gone back and forth before. I don't give a fuck. Like, we could, you call me every name under the book,
I just won't buy it because it sucks.
Well, I mean, let's face it. It's an online-only game, and we've been over this. You don't really play online games unless it's Destiny.
Well,
right?
no, the game itself sucks. I mean, it's just boring. Like, it's really boring.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is like you're not buying it because he's honest. You're not gonna buy it because he's offending you. You're not buying it because you legitimately thinks it sucks. There's a difference in that mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean that's one thing. But these motherfuckers out here now, like they will cry when a developer speaks their fucking mind, and usually that'll make me want to buy their game even more. Because at least the motherfucker has balls enough to get on social media and tell people what he thinks. I hate it. If there's one thing I don't like more than anything, is developers kissing customer ass to get money. Like, I hate that, dude. That drives me fucking bonkers. And this motherfucker has always been straight up with everybody in the very beginning. He like, his politics kind of suck. But you know what? He's not afraid to fucking tell it like it is. You know what I mean? Even if he's wrong. He could be the wrongest motherfucker on the planet. And I would still support him because at least he's got the balls to come forward and say what's on his mind. And I think that to a lot of people.
There's one thing though that like where I draw a line in that is because when you start getting into the whole our bathrooms anybody can use because it's the future and you know where trans people are okay or whatever. I'm like pandering. I can't get behind that. Like I'll
that's what I'm saying is pandering on either side. I can't fucking.
Yeah,
stand.
I'll forgo a game even if he does tell it like it is because I mean one thing he did make Lawbreakers.
Was he ever pandering?
In Lawbreakers he like tweeted a picture of the bathroom, and the bathroom sign shows a half man half woman, like the half dress and half thing where it's a unisex. I'm surprised
part of it's not robot.
Because so that way you can. He said, and we live in the Lawbreaker set in the future where everybody's equal, and all this shit like that. So yeah, once I saw that, I was like, yeah, dude, you lost me on that one because you're like if you just made it, if that's what you wanted to do, cool. like nobody would have, like only the people that really wanted to look and figure it out would have figured it out. But posting it online and making that statement, now you're just trying to pander to that little minute crowd.
Yeah, the SJW idiot. Yep.
So after that, I was just like, I mean, I was honestly thinking about buying his game, just like it would on the basis of what you said, from all the hate that he was getting from the Xbox crowd just for launching it on PS4 first.
Yeah.
No name.
But then that tweet came out. I was like, yeah, no.
No name. You said in the chat that because older laptops are 32-bit. That's not necessarily true. A 32-bit operating system can only recognize 4 gigs of RAM. There is older laptops that have more than 4 gigs of RAM. Therefore, they are not 32-bit. Their operating system is at least 64-bit.
You can just run the 32-bit option.
And that's the other thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can run 32-bit Windows on a 64-bit CPU. And I think I know some people that they didn't want to pay to upgrade.
Oh, Shane, he pulled the hashtag not all on you.
Yeah,
Of
no,
course not.
it says
Hashtag not all.
no.
Even
You
phones are going
didn't say
64.
all. You
There
said
are
older.
64-bit. Well, yeah, but there are 64-bit phones, and there are because there's now 3. There's ARM, there's by86, and now there's some by64 chips that are in phone. But even they are going 64-bit and pretty quick. It probably won't be another couple years before just about nothing uses 32-bit chips anymore.
Yeah, you said older laptops. Yeah, and hashtag not all. You didn't say all, but you generalized older laptops are 32-bit. There are older desktops that are 32-bit as well. I mean,
1024-bit. Get on my level.
I don't even know what the fuck that
So what do
is.
you guys think? What do you guys think about like the PC community kind of, I don't know, discharging or I don't know, disparaging their fellow PC gamers because of their hardware discrepancies? Like, what do you
That's
think
still
about
happening?
that? What, yeah,
Wait,
that's still actually happening.
like the NVIDIA AMD thing?
No, like, okay, so say, like, Shane, like, let's say you never upgrade your PC. Let's say you're still operating on a P4 with hyper-threading, but you can at least still play some of the modern games, but on super low settings, right?
Uh-huh.
And let's say you're operating on an 8800 GTS. Does that make you any less of a PC gamer, or is it just the same exact thing?
No.
Okay, that's what
Just like with a console thing, like people that haven't upgraded to this current gen or don't buy this console because of the price or whatever, it's their fucking wallet. It is their finance situation.
It doesn't
not
make him
yours.
any less. It doesn't make him any less or more of a gamer. Are you
That's
more of a
exactly
gamer?
that's exactly my point. Thank you. That's
If
exactly.
that's if that's what you're trying.
I see a lot of PC gamers that like to post their shit up, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this guy is running on this. He's not really a PC gamer." Like, what?
If
That's
that-
not how this works.
If that's the people that think like that to me aren't gamers. Like they're like that.
No, they're
gamers,
fucking idiots, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like the people that want to showboat, and they know that going into the gaming area, that's where you can showboat.
Matter of fact,
but-
sorry.
Oh no, just like that'd be like me saying, well, I have a PlayStation 4 Pro, and well, since you only have a PlayStation 4, you're not really a PlayStation gamer. You're not really a gamer per se because
Yeah.
you haven't got the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, that's just. I hate people that.
That's
that
a
wanna
JTech
flaunt
thought.
their-
That's JTech thought process right there.
Yeah, I like the people that want to flaunt money more than they like. Gaming isn't about who spends the most money.
It never has been. Yeah.
No, I mean it's always just been about do you enjoy gaming? That was the one thing that's always been great about gaming is that somebody that was really super wealthy, or somebody that was really super poor, somebody that was really super popular, somebody that was really super nerdy and alone, could all come together in one area and be the same.
Right. Exactly.
That
Yeah.
and that's what I miss about gaming. Like now it's all about like the fanboys on both sides and all three
It's
sides.
the
I guess.
bullshit. That's
Oh yeah,
going on
Yeah,
like
right now.
Cyrus is saying, what if Xbox One and Xbox One X owners start feuding? Oh, I guarantee you they
yeah,
will.
they probably
There
will.
have already been videos where the idiots say shit like, Well, if you're not gaming in 4K, then you're not a hardcore gamer. So if you
Yeah.
don't have an Xbox
No,
One X, you're not hardcore.
I've told people since the beginning of Geek Essentials that was like mid 2014. I don't care if you're playing on a mobile phone, a classic NES. It doesn't matter to me. If you're playing games, then you're more than welcome here. I mean,
Yeah, people
Except for Candy Crush.
people
fuck
see
off.
like
No.
people see like what
Excuse you.
people see like what I've like when I post my like purchases and stuff, and they take it as that type of. Some people have taken it as that type of thing. Like, well, now you're just bragging. You know, you're bragging because you were able to buy all this. I'm like, no, I'm just sharing. You know, my love for gaming with the other fellow gamers or whatever. It's like I don't give a shit. Like what if you don't have all the shit I have, I don't give a shit. Like if you have just like what Shane said, like NES, or if you're selling a fucking Atari or Palm, or you just know about games, you used to love them all the time, but now you just don't have the time for it, and you still want to talk about games, you're still just as valid to me as the person who has the top of the line everything in every game in the book. Like it doesn't make you any more or less. It doesn't. I've never understood the boasting about what people have in comparison to what other people don't have. Not in gaming. I mean, I understand it, and
I think it's weird that people still do that though. I'm like, what does?
Well, I don't care
what
about
does
the
it matter?
boasting. Like, I don't mind a little, EP contests every now and again. It's just when they say, "Oh, you've only got a 780 Ti, huh?" Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I can't even associate
That's still not a
with
bad
scrub
card.
like you.
I get the e-ping contest, like whenever, but most people that go into it knowing what they're
Exactly.
going into
Yeah.
the contest for. My system's powerful.
It's just like going to a car show and showing
it's
off
back
your
and forth.
sweet Ferrari or whatever.
But
Yeah.
when a gamers post, and I've seen that like this stuff on Facebook groups before, like people are posting about, I'm having problems with this game or whatever, and well, what kind of system do you have? And they list out their specs of their PC, and they're like, and you call yourself a PC gamer? Like you're just nothing but a peasant. Like you either need to go back to console or just quit even trying.
Which is weird to me. It's so strange.
I've
never
understood that because like the dude didn't ask for, like, he wasn't trying to boast about his system. He was simply going, "Here's my system. Here's the problems I'm having. Can you please help me? Like, is it my system that's causing the problems, or is it there's something wrong with the game that I need to tweak some settings, or what happened?" And people are turning it into an e-ping contest, and I don't understand like that. If you bought your system, especially the PC gamers, because I mean it happens more with PC gamers than the Xbox gamers. I mean, I'm sure, or console gamers. I'm sure there's a degree of it within what you said with the Xbox One X and regular version, in the Pro and the regular PS4. I'm sure there is some, but I see it more with the PC gamers. Like, if somebody posts their specs, then somebody's got to top them, like, no matter what.
Bro, you know it as well as I do, Rambo. Like, we're gonna see this shit with the PlayStation crowd too. Like, it's gonna be ridiculous because we both know that these idiots on both sides of the fence, or in this case, all three sides of the fence.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Yeah.
They're probably.
I'm saying I follow a lot of the fanboys so I can see a lot of what they say and stuff, and I haven't seen.
Know your enemy. Smart.
I haven't seen a lot of the contest, in between, like, the PlayStation gamers within the PlayStation gamers and the Xbox gamers within the Xbox gamers yet. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's going to be like, it's probably not going to happen as near as widely as the PC.
No, because there's less difference between the hardware.
And the PC crowd is like really toxic with that whenever it comes to with each other. They're like eating.
Well, that's the thing. You always hear the people who are the most outspoken, and usually the people who are the most outspoken are the biggest jackasses.
Well, obviously it's not everybody. I mean, it's not even a large majority of it or anything like that. It's just but these are the gamers that I don't even consider gamers. Like, a gamer's not going to care what you're gaming on. The gamer's going to care if you're gaming.
I look at it this way: if you use a hobby to perverse the whole meaning behind it, then you're no longer a part of that hobby. That's just how I look at things in general. Especially,
Right.
I mean,
Well-
and this is everything. This isn't just gaming. This is art. This is the science community. I mean, and there's a lot of motherfuckers that do that. They'll perverse
Yeah.
their hobby. The hobby. God damn it. They'll perverse their hobby.
Their interest.
Their interests, and to make themselves stand out from the crowd because they think being a lemming or somebody that carries on with a similar interest is gonna automatically mean they're associated with people that they no longer agree with, and so they wanna like put out their fucking big cock and throw it on the table and be like, "Yo, motherfuckers, show me what you got, or if you don't have this, you're a piece of shit and you don't belong here."
Well, I see this type of mentality like in a lot of hobbies and a lot of different things, like even just in general. But it's like if you were into woodworking and like say my neighborhood, you know, a lot of people, everybody, all the men in here kind of were really into woodworking. Majority of them, they kind of like all talked and did their little thing about whatever. I'm not really into woodworking, but since I have money, I go out and buy like the absolute nicest table saw, the nicest drill press, the nicest, you know, all these different the nicest fucking tools that money can buy.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're working on their, you know, whatever table saw they have, it's people are joining the hobby just to like belong, but then they're joining it for
Oh,
the
it's
wrong
like a
reason.
status thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're joining it for the wrong reason. They're doing it for a status symbol rather than
They're
actually
buying the
actual-
Corvette just because it's a status symbol. Not
That way
because
you
they
can
like
say I have a
cars.
Corvette and you have a
Yeah.
Toyota, and that's what they're doing with the.
I don't like
gaming.
people like that.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Nobody does.
Well,
There's
those people.
quite a few of the crumb
Except-
side that we know that do
Except
that.
people like them,
Mm-hmm.
and especially when they're above the other people like them around them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never understood that. Like, I think it was Wright or whatever that posted not too long ago on Twitter or whatever. Like, he got his 1050 Ti.
Yeah.
But there would be a lot of PC gamers that if they're not, I say a lot. I'm not obviously not meaning majority,
Yeah.
but the ones that we're talking about that
A
would see that
sizable
tweet and
vocal
be like-
minority.
There you go.
yeah, would see that tweet and go, "You call yourself a fucking gamer?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
why did you get the
1050
1080 Ti?
Yeah, like a 250 Ti. Like you should be rocking this, and then see 1080 Ti's and like in all four of them in there, or even just mainly an SLI. But and it's like, what classifies you as a better gamer? Like that makes fucking nothing.
It's funny you should say that. I was ready to pounce on any motherfucker that was going to do that to him too.
Oh yeah,
Because-
me too. I mean,
Because
I
he
was
was
fully
super
expecting
excited
it.
about that, man. He was super excited about that. And he went through hell getting it. Like, he went through a lot of work trying to get
Well,
that
it's,
shit done.
dude, GPUs just right now are a bitch to get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was fully
Well,
expecting
and he's got all
that
those
to
limps
happen.
because he lives in Canada. So, like, he has to deal with a fucking price increase. He's got
Right.
to deal with all the
Customs.
inflation shit, customs,
Yep.
yeah. And his mom was already going through shit trying to fucking purchase. Like, she hates going online and purchasing things. So, he was already having issues there.
Yeah, just whenever he fully expecting to have to say something to somebody, because that's just the way, this crowd that I've seen operate. Like they look for. It's almost like the Xbox gamers look for anybody like talking negative about Xbox. It's like they have an automatic search feature that brings up anything that anywhere
That's
anytime
like a
somebody
search
mentions
engine
his Xbox.
dedicated.
Yeah, and it's almost like the PC gamers have that. Like somebody posts a spec, somebody posts a picture of a GPU, I'm on it, and I was fully prepared. That's one of the reasons why I mainly made sure I replied, so that way I would get any notification that somebody liked or commented or anything on it. So I can say something, because I hate people like that.
Yeah, same. I ended up getting some shit because I was still running on an R9 270X, and at the time I still had my i7 920. I still have it. It's right next to me, in fact. Like I don't see the point in upgrading unless you absolutely have to. Like if your card cannot run it, absolutely cannot run it, then I'd say upgrade. But if all you're doing is getting, like, say, 20% increase in performance from what you currently have, I don't see the point in upgrading. That's just how I am. I mean, if I was to upgrade after every new release of something, I'd be fucking poor. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
And there are a lot of PC elitists out there that I've actually had the, should I say, the shit time of meeting that believe that it's completely and utterly justified to spend over $1,000 on the next NVIDIA iteration every release.
Yeah, that's horseshit.
And I'm like,
I mean, if they're a gamer, if they're a gamer and they can afford it, cool. If they're doing it for their own, if they're doing it for their own personal thing, I see nothing wrong with them like spending $1,500 a year to get the new GPU and whatever. But if they're doing it just so that way they can look at you and go
and rub it in other people's faces, yeah.
Those are the people that I don't consider. I don't know. I don't consider them gamers. Like, Go Get tagged me in. I don't know if he tagged me, but I think that I saw his tweet, and so it made me go look into it. From what he said, and there was a game. There's some guy. He has like 5,000 subs, and he had this video that basically said that you aren't a real gamer if all you're doing is playing like COD and the regular AAA games. That you have to play these off the wall sideball games to be considered a game. He's well,
you're roboting right now.
Yeah.
Video was him playing COD beta. So
it sounds hilarious, though.
Yeah. So I went to look at the COD beta, and every time you get a kill in COD or you get killed, your name pops up in blue. And so I saw his gamer tag that he was playing with, and I went to look it up, and I'm like going, dude, you have 470 trophies on this one account. Every one of the games that you say that make you a casual or not a real gamer are on your fucking list of played games. Like, you are nothing besides, like, you're one of these people that like to try to be divisive in the community, while you yourself are doing the exact same things you're talking about other people doing.
Yep.
And I wanted to make a video on him, but apparently he has another what's it called? Another PSN ID, because he was playing Nier Automata, but that wasn't on his list of this gamer tag. And so, if I can ever figure out his actual,
You sure it wasn't on PC?
I couldn't. I couldn't be for certain, but the way everybody, like the people that know him and talk to him, everybody said he was a PlayStation gamer. So I'm just going off because I was asking around like some of his friends and people that were quote unquote defending him in his views. I was asking them like what his gamer tag or his PSN ID was, and they told me that it's because it was the one that popped up in the COD video was ancient_pizza. And they said that his PSN ID is Ancient Pizza, all one word. But it's if you go look up that PSN ID, he's got everything private.
Who is this?
Like I forgot what his name was, and Go Get would be able to tell you what his name is. I forgot what his name is, but I was gonna do a video on him because I was gonna expose him and try to like compare him to my trophy count. And be like, so do you actually consider yourself a real gamer? I mean, if you don't have a trophy count like mine, then you're not a real gamer. I was gonna, try to use his logic against him, but his name is Young Defiant. He has a channel. His channel's name is Young Defiant, and he's a young little prick, is what it sounds like. But he's this type of. I don't know if he's the type that is bragging about specs and shit like that, but he's the type that thinks that he has the right class. He has the right to tell people if they're a gamer or not, based on what he considers to be a game worth calling yourself a gamer.
What the fuck is wrong with these people? Seriously.
I don't know, man. I don't know when the hell that all began, because it wasn't, from what my understanding, when I was a kid growing up with like the Super Nintendo and even the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo and Sega and all that, it was never about what games do you play on that system. It was like you're playing the like the Sega, you're playing the Nintendo. You know, it was never about, oh, you only play Mario? No, fuck, you ain't a gamer, man. You ain't playing Luigi's Mansion. You know, it was never like that back then.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, dude. Like, I never understood the whole mindset behind it either. Like, I don't understand why it's perfectly okay to shit on people because of that shit. Like, I hate that shit. That's one of the reasons why half the people we used to hang out with, Rambo, I don't even talk to anymore, dude.
No,
because that's what they do. That's all they do. They're like, oh,
bro, it's more than half. We don't talk to like nearly any of them.
Like, yeah, exactly. Because the crowds we used to hang out with, dude, they consider themselves part of this crumb side, and they're proud of it, dude. They're like, yeah, this is the best thing ever. This is funny. It's like, really, it's really fun to shit on other people's gaming preferences now. Like, I was never okay with it. Like, my thing is like, if I fucked with people or I fucking trolled you, it was because you were a dickhead and I didn't like you. And you know, 9 times out of 10, people knew it was me doing the shit that I did. I mean, these motherfuckers nowadays, it's like they just don't care. They're like, fuck, you're a gamer? Oh, well, if you're not.
And they don't even. Wait, what?
No, go ahead. You're fine.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and like especially the crowd that we used to hang out in, they don't even stop there. Like, you could have a preference that they don't like. That's not enough for them just to attack your preference. They will find out like things that are very personal to you. They'll dig up whatever they can. Yeah, and your family, and it's shit. Rambo knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And it's stupid.
Yeah,
over games, like, really?
I like the only time I ever like troll people over their quote unquote preference is like, say, like Kid Smooth, whenever I know that, because he is like a self-proclaimed Xbox fanboy, and so I troll him knowing that, you know, like a certain tweet is going to like get him, you know, riled up. But I don't. The fact that he likes Xbox or plays on Xbox and I mainly play on PlayStation, I've never given anybody a hard time over them playing on or talk bad about him because they play on Xbox. It's like, okay, cool. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. And yeah, the people that, I know who you're talking about. And those people are, if you look up even if you look up their gamer IDs.
Oh my God, it's nothing, dude. There's just like,
it's like,
have nothing. Yeah.
It's like you just play games just enough to say that you're like, to be able to say I'm a gamer, just so you can shit on somebody else.
You know, spend 300 hours in a Call of Duty game, but what you don't tell people is you were at the pause menu most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
Excuse me, sir, but I was AFK shitting. Okay. Yes, 200 hours shit. That's right.
dude.
Just enough Guitar Hero you can beat your buddies when they come over.
I didn't realize it was trending until just now. What do you mean, Dark Phoenix?
Dark Phoenix, I saw that just a minute ago when I logged into.
Oh yeah, I had that shit pulled up. I actually wanted to bring that up.
I'm done with this whole feminist bullshit. It's pissed me the fuck off right now. Like,
yeah, Brim, it's a remake of Lord of the Flies, but it's all female, just like the Ghostbusters.
Jesus. Oh, you gotta be kidding
Not
me.
for any other reason, but the fact that they're females.
you would have figured that everybody would have looked at the Ghostbusters and thought, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, this is not how we make money, obviously.
And now, I guess they're doubling down. I mean, it's just like kind of like they did throughout the elections. Double down on stupid and see how far it takes us.
Yeah.
They really want to take it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Just full speed ahead, right off the cliff, no brakes.
Yeah, I quoted Brianna Wu today in a tweet because somehow there was a selfie taken at a company meeting, an Uber, mind you, Uber company meeting, and it was Uber drivers that were there. And the selfie had like the majority male. Uber drivers. These are the people that sign up to be an Uber driver on their own.
Yep.
Like they don't go out and recruit these people. They don't go out and look.
Not even really like. I don't even think there's interviews, are there?
No, you just
As
simply,
long as you pass the qualifications, you just
Yes.
send them your paperwork, and there you go.
Right. So Brianna Wu was like, she didn't quote the tweet. Actually, she took a screenshot of the tweet and said, "This is exactly why, whenever I get into Congress, I'm going to make it my mission for us to pass laws against sexism in tech companies." And I'm like, you realize that just because there's more men in this room, I mean that there's sexism involved.
Well, of course it does.
If the
If there's
women,
not 50-50 in everything, it has to be because of sexism.
it's like women first have to apply, but then they also have to be qualified. And in tech companies, there's a lot of women that don't go that extra mile and take that STEM course.
Okay. Well,
So
fine then.
if you don't get hired. I mean, that's just the way it happens. It's the way it works. And
I'm not sure if it is anymore, but what was it, like 2006? In California, if you were a woman, you were not allowed to work past a certain hour at like a convenience store that was a 24/7 deal by yourself, for safety reasons or whatever. I never saw any fucking chick bitch about that. I mean,
they won't either. You never see like Brianna Wu taking a picture of a construction company and going, "Where's the women?"
Yep.
You never see them
Or
taking a picture of the armed
men.
forces and going, "Where's the
Yep.
women?" They want to be given these top paying jobs, these CEOs, the tech jobs, based on the mere fact that they are a woman. Like that, if they don't hire you, even if the only thing you've ever done in your life is bake cakes and cook dinner for your family, and at 35 you decide, well, I'm going to go get a job at Google. I'm going to apply for manager of YouTube, and you don't get the job, it's because they're fucking sexist at Google.
yeah, it's
Yep.
got nothing to do with your gender.
Yeah, it has nothing
Absolutely
to,
not.
I mean, like it just it blows my mind how people think. Like, how do you give somebody a job based on the fact of their gender or their race? Like how
To meet a quota.
All I know is I want an Indian guy for my tech support in my company in the future because they remember everything.
Thank you for calling. My name is Bob.
They remember everything, like within 5 seconds of their call. So I'm down with that.
Well, I mean, it's like we're hiring for the people who are going to be working on the nuclear weapon, our nuclear missile defense system. You have to be NASA certified, all these different things. And well, if you're black or you're female, I don't give a shit what you've been doing in your life. You can just come on. You got yourself a job. You're going to be handling all the important functions. You'll be the supervisor. Like, what world do we live in? That sounds like a good idea.
Oh my god, I don't know why this brings this up. I don't know why this reminds me of this. Did you guys see the fucking tweet? Or not the tweet, or it was a Facebook post by this Indian dude that says, or was he Indian or was he fucking, I don't know. He was a Middle Eastern, I just know that. He fucking sat there and said that rape isn't too bad after the woman calms down. It's like having intercourse. Did you see that today on Facebook? That was a big thing today on Facebook. That fucking
Nope.
blew up, dude. Oh my god! And this guy is like, I guess he's like some like.
Are you talking about in Nashville?
No, this guy was in the EU.
Oh,
Like he has a seat in the EU, and he was saying that rape isn't so bad until the woman calms down, and it's like sex. It's like regular intercourse, is what he said.
That's horrible. That
and
kind of
then-
makes me sick.
And this guy, dude, he was saying this in response to the story that took place.
are you talking about the Muslim guy?
Yeah.
Yes. I did read about that.
He
yeah.
he said it because of what happened with the Danish couple, I guess. I guess they fucking got raped by a group of fucking Middle Easterns. They literally, like, it was a...
And you don't want to be racist.
Oh, fuck that. I'll be racist all day. I don't give
Oh,
a
but-
fuck. But anyways, yeah, he fucking said that shit in light of that situation. Like, this couple was literally just walking by themselves in their own country, by the way. I guess it was a group of fucking, I don't know. It was, what was it? The fucking, oh my god, why can't, Syrian refugees, there you go. The Syrians, fucking raped this couple, dude. Like, they actually beat this dude in the face so badly to the point he needs reconstructive surgery, threw him in the fucking water as they raped him in front of her. Like, I mean, raped her in front of him. So they raped her, beat the shit out of him, and then threw his body into the fucking water. And that's what that guy says after that. I'm like, are you fucking serious, dude? Like, people like that need to fucking die. Like, seriously. They just need
What
to
was
die.
sad is that the conservatives on Twitter were tweeting this and talking about this is like y'all want to be these Islamic apologists, and you have this guy on the council. You know, you have this guy. It's a really important guy that's able to make decisions, saying this about women and feminists, and everybody else were like going. Well, they were like going. Well, your religion's not okay with, I guess killing, not okay with like abortion and stuff. But now you all of a sudden you want to be like holier than thou and raping and killing a woman. And I'm like, why? You're really making excuses for this guy. Like, you're a feminist, but yet you're taking the route of like downing the other person's religion, like the actual Christian.
Right?
Like,
That doesn't make any fucking sense, does it, dude?
Yeah, it's like, well, how did you get how did we get to abortion when it comes to the guy say what he said? Like, we should be focusing on the rape thing, the whole, like what he said about rape, the whole rape, everything like that. But yet they are like basically making excuses for him by going after the other people's religion and the way they are they're transphobic, homophobic, and then they want to get into women's bodies as far as like through law and stuff like that.
Does any
I'm
of
like
that
going,
shit make any sense to you, dude?
No,
like,
it threw me off. I was reading these threads and going, how the fuck did how have we got to this point to where we're actually making what a guy said about rape that's actually in a powerful position just okay because we can equate it to somebody else's religion as anti-abortion?
But yeah,
Like,
bro,
what?
these bitches will sit there and talk about the fucking patriarchy, dude.
Yeah.
And they'll say that Trump is a fucking rapist, he rapes women, he's a terrible person. But yet we speak up against rape in this country that's supposed to be like one of the best countries to live in, apparently. And this terrible situation takes place, and they're like, well, you guys said it's not okay for abortions. Like, where does abortion and rape fall under the same category?
It might be like a subcategory. I could see that, but still.
Yeah, but
I
still
mean,
not in the same, not where you're talking about.
And how can you sit there and be like, yo, it's you know, if our president like grabs him right in the pussy, that's not okay. But hey, they're Syrian refugees, so it's fine.
Fucks you right in the pussy.
Yeah,
it's okay. They're Syrian.
They're Syrian, so it's fine. Like, how do you draw that line? Where do you draw that distinction?
Yeah, I can see like in a conversation, like, you know, talking about how rape is wrong or what you think about rape. Abortion does not belong in that sentence.
Yeah.
I mean.
But if you're just talking about like what rape and what all it can entail from it, then pregnancy and possible abortion, yeah, I can see the line flow, but not whenever we're like downing.
Fucking
but not when we're down, like we're all out actually downing this guy for okaying rape and giving these guys a pass for raping this woman and beating up the guy, and they're like, well, come on, man, like you don't even like abortion. Okay, yeah, I don't like.
It's neither here nor there.
I don't like killing innocent babies, but can we get back to, you know, the woman that was fucking raped and the guy that said it was okay?
Right? And that guy, and you're right, the guy's in a position of power, and they're just making all these excuses for him. Oh, it was only a joke, motherfucker. If Trump said like tomorrow on
Oh my
Twitter.
God.
If Trump made a side joke about 9/11 and drawing the distinction of that
God.
joke tomorrow, dude, he would be on the fucking chopping block, bro.
Let him make the same comment the guy made about rape,
No name. You should get why.
and I guarantee you. that
Don't
they'd be
don't
calling-
gay
they-
people get a free pass on 90% of things too? I think they
it
do.
was-
Oh
I'm-
yeah,
I'm telling
evidently
you, like,
you can shut down cake shop factories and shit, you know.
and then today they were like me and Porter Rock and a few of the other followers were in Smokey Dog. I don't know if you know who Smokey Dog is, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know who he is. He's cool.
we have a lot of the same views, like on like the politics stuff. Like we'll call out the left and the right.
Yeah, that's good.
And he made a post something like about like BLM, KKK, and Antifa are all bad. They're all disgusting, and they all need to go. They all need to be. They're all hate groups. They all need to go. And
Tekken 6, by the way.
Porter Rock and this other guy they jumped in. They were like, "Well, you can't equate Antifa and BLM to the KKK. The KKK is far worse."
The fuck you
It's
can't.
like
Right.
comparing a cold
When's
to
the last time the KKK killed anybody?
And I'm like going, okay. Well, first of all, this is the funny part, because they're like, sure, there's like the fringe elements of the BLM or the fringe elements of Antifa that are, going out and hurting people and killing people and beating people up and crap like that. But that's not the actions of the whole group. But the neo-Nazis that were there in Charlottesville, like the KKK, they've been killing people for 50 years. I'm like going, but how are you equating all these young young KKK members to all the past crimes that happened from way back when? If I can't link every single Antifa member to the fringe elements of the Antifa that are killing people and beating people up, like you can't give all the body count from the old KKK to this KKK. If I can't give all the people being beat up from Antifa to all of Antifa, I'm like, and they kept on calling us a KKK white supremacist apologist, and I'm like,
Apologist?
yeah, I was like, the whole thread is me and Smokey going, we hate the KKK, but we also think that the BLM and Antifa are just as bad and they need to go too.
Well, don't you know, if you condemn both, I mean, that's basically being a Nazi. You're supporting Nazis.
That's kind of
Yeah, you have to only condemn the Nazis. That the Nazis are the worst possible evil there could ever be on this earth. So if you don't only condemn them, well, you must be apologizing for them.
Well, you guys saw. So speaking of the Nazis, let's talk about that real quick. You guys have seen the new meme that's been sort of going around like crazy. It's been going around like wildfire. They're talking about you can't be an American and be a Nazi and support Nazism. And I'm like thinking to myself, it's not so much a support of Nazism, it's supporting the free speech that grants them their opinion. I don't care how wrong it is. We're not saying that what they're saying is right. We're saying that if you have the right to tell white people that they should fucking die, then Nazis have the fucking right to say the same opposite thing without being opposed like you are. That's all
Right.
I
Exactly.
was trying to fucking say.
If you can't be a Nazi, then why can you be a communist?
I just don't, dude. I don't understand that fucking mindset bothers me, dude. They're like, oh, deplatform Nazis. Okay, well, if I'm deplatforming Nazis, then I have every right to deplatform Antifa members and Black Lives Matter members.
Yep.
With no fucking problem. If you can sit there and say a Nazi does not have a right for an opinion, which, let's face it, racism's fucking stupid. I think we could all agree.
Oh yeah, well, there's no.
But if we are deplatforming a Nazi, I should have every right to go up to a BLM or an Antifa member and punch him square in the fucking face with
Yeah, you can
no
you can
problems
punch Nazis,
whatsoever.
right?
I'll punch a Nazi any day of the week. I'll break his fucking kneecaps, dude. I don't care. Like that's.
Punch a commie.
Let's do it. Let's do it. But what I'm saying
It's
is,
on.
that, like, if that's okay, then what the fuck is freedom of speech?
Right?
Right, and let's get into that real quick, because I was watching a Milo Yiannopoulos video the other day, and he brought up a point on his last talk with his campus where they were saying, where he was commenting on the fact that Trump was looking at giving criminal charges to those who deface our flag. And my point, and I got, of course, fucking ransacked in the fucking comments when I said this. I said, because I disagreed with him, I said, freedom of speech is not freedom of action. We don't get to sit here and burn a fucking flag for the sake of freedom of speech any more than I get to fucking murder somebody who I disagree with for the same fucking factor of this is freedom of speech, you can't put me in jail. I said freedom of speech and freedom of action are two completely different fucking things.
Yeah, you can say what you want, not light what you want on fire.
Exactly.
The only problem is that the Supreme Court has said that people can burn the American flag and it's freedom of speech.
Well, really, any flag.
Yeah, but I mean, it was the main.
And it's funny how
the main thing was because they were burning the American.
Oh, give me an Antifa, give me an ISIS, give me a
right?
Nazi,
Can we
and
burn
give me
the
a
rainbow
KKK.
flag?
Give me all of them and watch me make a vlog video of lighting them bitches on fire, dude. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, the Confederate flag, that's supposed to be fucking a hate symbol, and people fucking beat people up who are, you know, displaying one or wearing one, or, you know, the General Lee isn't allowed on the air anymore because somehow just having the Confederate flag, it means you a slave promoting, you know, Southern separatist or something. Whatever.
And real quick, Dark Phoenix says, I hate when people say they have the right to say all that because it's freedom of speech and people turn around like you're defending what they believe in. Right, I fucking agree, yeah. Like, I read that to myself wrong, so that's why I said that out loud. So I'm glad I did that because I have been drinking tonight. So
Yeah, I had to read that a couple of times too, and then I realized I'm
I'm on my second rum and coke right now, so yeah, so no, I agree. Like, everybody thinks that too. They say, well, why are you they'll tell I've been hit up like this anyways. I don't know about you guys, but I've been told that I'm an un-American piece of shit and I'm a Nazi sympathizer because I defend the right for everybody to say what they want. It's like, as long as you say what you want, I don't give a fuck. You could say I'm a redneck hillbilly who fucks his mother and has had kids with his sister. That would not bother me because I know it's not true because I'm comfortable with myself.
And they're
right?
just fucking words.
And exactly, they're just fucking words. Now, if you were a true Nazi and you upholded everything that you believe in other words, if I saw somebody say that they hate black people and they go into a church the next day with a fucking AR, then I would say, go shoot that motherfucker between the eyes because he's a piece of shit. But if all he says is, I'm going to go shoot somebody, but he doesn't actually fucking do it, that's a whole different thing altogether.
Yeah, I mean, I them saying, you know, white people are superior, black people are mongrels, or whatever they want to say, like whatever it is that their mantra is, like that. It's just words. It's just them saying it. Like, why is it okay?
Whatever happened to sticks and stones may hurt my, or may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Am I drinking and you're feeling
right?
it?
Wasn't everybody? When did they stop teaching that? When did parents stop telling that to their kids?
Right around the time they said it was okay if you're a man to feel like a female.
Right.
Or identify as a fucking drill press or toaster or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, they turn that into now like, well, it depends on what word, but you can possibly sue for sue for emotional distress, you know. So
God.
See, speaking of that, that's what I can't stand about today's day and age. Is I was raised, and I'm not even that old. I'm gonna be 30 in a fucking month. I was raised that you don't handle shit with another man.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
That you don't handle shit with another man in a courtroom. You either go out and, you know, you have a beer and you squash it with words, or you go meet the motherfucker outside. Fuck a courtroom. And that's retarded. I can't stand that shit nowadays. Everything is, well, I'm going to sue you. Oh, you can't say that about me. Yeah, I mean,
you remember? Okay, so I'm not gonna like try to start drama here or anything. But a while back, Shane, I think I told you about this. I'm not sure, but if I haven't, you're gonna hear about it here. I told this guy here on YouTube. Everybody knows him as Cookie Face. I'm not gonna mention by his name. I told this dude if he wanted to come out, I said I would box him. I said I would beat his ass. I said this to this man because I was heated. He was heated. So when you're two pissed off dudes getting mad, we say some stupid shit. All right. But I did say if I lose, I will fucking buy you a room and I will feed you. Like, legit. Like, this wasn't about hate or malintent. This was literally to squash a temporary anger. I don't know what you say, what you call that. But, like, that's just how I am. Like, if I challenge someone to a fight or something, and if I lose, like, I'm like, yo, man, you know, we squash this. You beat my ass. We're good.
Let's go grab a beer and a steak, and we're good.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the kind of person I am, dude. Even with my cousin. When my cousin was attacking me on Facebook, you heard about that the other day. I sent you the thing where he said to me, motherfucker threatened to come to my house. I told that bitch, go ahead, come down, dude. Like, we'll fight. And guess what? More than likely afterwards, we're going to have a fucking barbecue and put this shit behind us. But these motherfuckers nowadays want to drag that shit on. This is where, like, the killing starts. This is where all the hatred, the unbridled hatred comes from. Because they let it hang around and linger. They don't let go of it. So that instead of, you know, taking care of shit, getting your ass beat, and letting it go and having a beer with one another, these motherfuckers are like, hey, not only did we fight, and not only am I going to jail for this, but guess what? I'm going to sue you afterwards, bring up more hate, so this way next time you see me, one of us are probably gonna fucking die. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that should be that way at all. And no, that's where it's gotten, man. That's where it's gotten.
Yeah, I mean, and it's even worse like when you're a parent. Rambo might know what I'm talking about. Like when your kids are outside playing with someone else's kids, if they have trouble, you know, like it used to be okay, like the dad goes and talks to the other dad or the mom goes and talks to the other mom. It's not even like that no more. It's okay, your kid said that to my kid, so I'm going to take you to court.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, who gives a shit about words? It's fucking stupid.
Oh my God, Shane, you said something about words that offends me.
That's always where, like, if somebody's gonna take me to court for something that
I'm gonna make it worth it,
or there's something my kids said, that's whenever I'm gonna go over there. And if I'm gonna go to court, I'm gonna go to court for something that I did, not that I said, because I'm gonna go there and beat the shit out of the parents, and then go, okay, now we can go to court. Now you can sue me for something.
Would you like a selfie for proof? And you can make a real quick court visit.
I mean, it's gotten to that point, though, in our day and age, where, like, people no longer handle things in the privacy of their areas anymore. Like, I remember when I lived in Cali, dude, like, and I know I bring this up a lot, but in Cali, it was a lot exactly of what you said, Shane. People handled that shit in the hood, and they let it stay in the hood.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, we policed our own a lot when I was a kid, and I remember what that was like, being a skater punk, being, like, one of the only half-native, half-white people in that neighborhood. And the reason why I think I survived is because I looked more Mexican than anything younger, because I was dark as fuck. So, like, I got away with a lot of shit, you know? And when it comes down to it, though, all the beef that I've ever had when I was as a kid growing up, whether it was me beating up a friend or they're kicking my ass, we kept it between us. We didn't bring up anybody else. We didn't call the cops. We didn't want to sue each other. We didn't cry to our mommies that our friends punched us in the face. Like, it never amounted to that at all. We beat each other's ass, we were done, and we were playing the N64 the next day. I mean,
yeah, exactly. You still went to each other's birthday parties, and you know had each other's backs at school. And nothing changed. You just had an altercation that one day.
We had friendships, bro. Like, it literally was like this. They're like, yo, nobody's allowed to talk shit about that person unless it's me. And they're like, why is
exactly.
that? Why is that? It's because I earned that right. And that's how it was between friends back in the day. Like, if you got into a fight with them, that's exactly what came out of it, was you had the right to talk shit because you fought that person, and now you guys know you're both good. So anybody who steps into that, you guys both know it's bullshit. And that way nobody will ever come between you. That's exactly how me and Hack and Slash became friends. Was like, we didn't really like each other at the beginning. Fuck, we didn't really care for each other at all. Like,
bro, the dude dropped you off a cliff, if that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yep, that's him. Like, so everybody was like, yo, he was talking shit about you. I'm like, dude, because he's earned the right to. Like, we used to fight all the time. Like, that's just how it was. You go in nowadays, and it's like, oh, he's talking shit? Oh, we're going to court for defamation of character.
I'm going to court. I hate you. I don't ever want to see you again. Goodbye. I mean, really? Grow a set of balls. That's where that... I usually hate when people say stuff like that, but it actually applies to this kind of stuff. Grow a set and shut up. I mean, be a fucking man.
All right, people, we got 16 people watching tonight. We are on fucking fire. We had 19, then it bounced to 20. Now we're back down to 16. Can I get a retweet from all of those viewers? That would be fucking amazing. And don't worry, Shane will suck the dick if you retweet. What? You don't like sucking dick now?
I ain't saying shit.
Metro will.
Metro's right here. He'll suck dick.
Hold on.
All the dicks that you were gonna bring my way, give them to Metro.
Motherfucker. Like, that's how that works, Joe. I mean, that is what that works. I mean, Metro, my boy is standing right behind me eating food right now. So you know my nigga has a mouthful of meat. See, he's joking.
Matter of fact, he picks everything off pizza but the meat.
Yo, I'm surprised you're not eating your dinner off of Jamie's asshole. I'm just saying. What?
I'm surprised he's eating his dinner, period, not picking out, you know, oh, I don't like that one. No, not that one.
Well, it is beef stroking off.
That's
That's fucking awesome. I love it.
You know,
Yeah.
you gave an all
If
you
I
need
retweet
for
this,
supper
only
is hot
people
dogs.
saying is porn bots on Twitter, all 12 of them. Porn bots on Twitter, we're down. Do it. It's a winning situation for us.
This chat's about to go so sexual. So
Dude, it's gotten sexual, it's gotten racist, it's gotten whatever you could fucking put out in a textbook that's offensive. Like, that's
Transphobic, xenophobic.
This is what I love about our
Islamophobic.
podcast, dude. Our podcast, like, it
Garbage
is
humans.
so fucking ridiculous on so many levels. I love it. Well, I mean, we've gotten full retard in here before, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, I go back to this day and watch some of those old videos on the other channel, and I just laugh my ass off because I'm like, damn, dude, like, were me and Rambo pissed off that day or what? Like, we were just not caring that day. And then some days we're like, we're all conservative and shit. We're like trying not to offend anybody, and then other days we're like, nigga this, nigga that. Like, I don't know. I love our podcast. That's why I do this every Wednesday and Friday. You guys are amazing people. I have tremendous podcast mates. Like, these guys are awesome. You know, Pete's been a great addition to the cast.
Even though he was our third choice, but
He is our third. Well, I would say fifth choice, but you know, you're being nice. So
yeah,
third choice.
at
is
this
good.
point, yeah, I was trying to be nice. You know, I didn't really want to hurt him too bad.
You know, if I could change one thing, though, it'd be Rambo's obsession with the hogs and dogs. I mean, he just...
Yeah,
All I ever get from this guy is dog porn. I mean...
yeah, right.
Bow wow, doggy. Bow wow.
Hashtag
Yo,
CNN.
UBA.
CNN. What the fuck?
Well, Rambo said I'm like CNN with fake news. So
You are fake news.
I'm totally cool with that.
At least you're something.
I know, right? I identify as CNN. What can you say you identify as? Not CNN.
He's got a point there, Rambo. I'm just saying. The
I already
man makes some
identify.
sense.
I've already identified as perfect.
As what?
Perfect.
Oh, okay. So you have a... What is that called? A Jesus Christ syndrome? Or...
The God complex.
Yeah, God complex.
The
Yeah.
Jesus
I don't
Christ
really-
complex? Is that
I don't
where you
really-
die and come back to life in a den of lions?
I don't really call it. I don't really call it a complex. I just call it truth.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm a pretty truthful guy if we're going against that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Caesar, I guess, tweeted me what he found on Instagram, and somebody posted, I guess, a screenshot of an AP article, and it says Donald Trump ends Obama's effort to waive work requirements for welfare. So apparently, Obama was trying to waive the need to work to get welfare.
Oh, the welfare to work program where like you can collect
Yeah.
shit from them, but you're going to volunteer for their
Are
things.
you fucking serious, dude? Obama,
Obama-
was trying to waive that shit?
Yeah, and Donald Trump has stopped that now.
Good. Hey, did you also know Donald Trump's actually trying to work on human trafficking? I think that's pretty fucking admirable, to tell you
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah, but
But he's a piece of shit, racist motherfucker who is making sure that human trafficking stays
Oh.
in power.
get this. There was somebody that was in one of these airboats in Houston, going down and picking up. It was a white guy. You could tell he was an old country guy. and he was like, you saw he was picking up little black children out of the water and black family out of the water and putting him in his boat, and on the back of his boat was a Confederate flag.
Oh boy.
Oh,
And
I
this
saw
black
that
lady-
too.
This black lady tweeted was like, these Confederate dudes really out here trying to act like they're picking up black people or whatever like that, and she's like, I'd be like, nope.
So you're just gonna drown?
I'm just thinking, could that possibly mean that not everybody
right back.
who runs with that Confederate flag is a racist? Like,
Yeah, and see,
you-
no, go ahead, Rambo.
Oh, I'm just saying you can't be a racist and help black people from drowning. Like that would be your ultimate goal. Be like just to drive by them and go, "What's up, mongrel?" and go.
Yeah, you'd be
You-
canceling out your own cause.
Yeah,
I mean-
I'm like that. You don't help people out. You don't help the lessers out whenever you're a racist. And the fact that like the thread was like just fucking disgusting. These people that were what they were saying to this lady, or what they were basically saying about this family that was black people out. And there were several tweets that were saying that since Texas voted for Trump, then people need not donate. That they deserve
Yeah.
this.
I saw that too. Like when it was a picture of Texas being a red state, and it said when you were about to donate to Hurricane Harvey or retweet for help, and then it had the fucking picture of Texas being a red state. I was like, that is fucking sad.
Right?
See, like this, like the court thing and things like this is the reason that I don't deal with people, because like Rambo said, you saw the one dude helping out black guys. I saw a black dude helping out an old white man that fell in the storm or whatever, and the caption was don't forget, people, America is still like this, and it is. How often do you see when you're out and about like some white dude like making a black guy bite the curb and stepping on the back of his head? You never see that. But CNN or Fox News or wherever will have you believe that's really what it's like outside.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I saw there was an actual article in I can't believe I'm going to say this, Salon.com, and because there was a bunch of people posting pictures of white people helping black people and black people helping white people and everybody just coming together, and they said this is what America is about. This right here shows America is still America. And this lady wrote this article and basically said that that's a falsehood, that America is really nasty and disgusting. And the only reason that this happens during natural disasters or whatever is because you get that fight or flight syndrome or whatever, and so you're just helping anybody. You're not seeing color at the time, but you're going right back to your racist ways as soon as it's over. And I'm like, they're just so dead set on making everybody believe that every white person hates black people, and that like don't believe the hype and don't believe the pictures that you're seeing, because as soon as the floodwaters resign, these people are going to go back to killing the black people.
no, there's still going to be
And
black
like,
construction workers rebuilding houses for white people and vice versa.
Yeah,
So
The lynchings will start as soon as the trees are back.
I'm like, sure. I mean, there's racists out there. Like, there's racists from everywhere. But for the fact is, I mean, I there's so many times you'll see a white. I've been in several stores and convenience stores whenever a white guy's paying for his his stuff at 7-Eleven, and there's a black family or a Mexican family behind him, and he's like, I got him too, and he ends up buying the dude's gas and all the little knickknacks or whatever they buy at the 7-Eleven. This shit, like, and I live in the reddest fucking state. It's never gone blue. I never even been feared to go blue. The idea that they've got these people believing that white people, especially from red states, are just these evil racist motherfuckers, and people believe it. The fucking media has got these people fucking convinced that white people are the fucking devil. It does not matter. I couldn't believe the amount of people saying that Texas deserved the fucking.
Oh yeah. Oh, they voted for Trump. I'm not going to donate to any charity helping them.
I was
Cancer, dude.
I couldn't
Cancer.
even reply to those tweets because I was like, there's 140 characters isn't going to be enough because I'm going to write a book and I'm going to. If I could have found that person out and about in the street, I'd probably knock the shit out of them and be willing to go to jail for that one.
Yeah.
Those people, yeah, I can't deal with that kind of shit.
Yeah, but seriously, like if you're white from a red state and you're fucking straight, like you are the scum of the earth today. That's why No Better Name earlier in the chat, you said, well, gay people get a pass on some stuff. No, I believe they get a pass on everything, just like feminists. Gay people, black people, feminists, basically, if you are not white, straight, and a fucking guy. I'm sorry.
Yep.
You get special treatment.
White straight males are the ones that get the brunt end. Everybody else gets the points awarded to them for being different than the white straight male.
Yeah, like if you're not a white straight male, you have a head start in life. You have a head start in everywhere.
It's just the world's come to a bad point. The media is not going to stop until we have a race war.
Yeah, America is going to tear itself apart because of the media. Watch. I mean, shit, we're already knocking down historical monuments. I mean, come on.
Yeah, there was a black woman that posted a Twitter video and talking about like telling people, wake up, quit fucking listening to the media, quit judging your life based on what the media says. Like, go outside, live a little, see what it's actually like. She's like, I went to the store today and a white person sacked my groceries and brought them to my car. No problems. I went into Starbucks today. A Mexican, a Latino made my coffee. No problems. I went to somewhere else and, white guy bought my whatever. No problems. Came back home, turned on the TV, and you would have thought that she said they made it look like that white people were out to kill me. And she's like, she said, quit believing what you're seeing on TV. They want us to be at odds with each other. Live your life based on your actual experiences, not what CNN and other places are telling you. And it's just so, like, it's sad the number of people that will respond to me and say, you are wrong because CNN said this. And they actually say that words. You're wrong. CNN said this.
Yeah.
I'm
this
like,
is,
they're
this
fucking
is also like, yeah, dude, they are. It's fucking horrible. This is a very small part of this reason, but well, actually, no, it's a big part of why I enjoy not having cable TV. All I have is the internet for Netflix and Hulu and that kind of thing. I never run across a news channel, and I fucking love it because my world is what I see outside and what I deal with online. It's not fucking what CNN is telling me, like, black people bomb this today or fucking white people. No, it's none of that. It's just what I deal with, and I love that part of my life. Cable TV and these news networks, well, not really cable TV, but the news networks need to just stop. I mean, there's no need for a 24-hour news channel. There really isn't.
They know what they're doing, and it's a ploy because the media the people who own the media, the five major media outlets, also run the government with their money. They pay for their bills to be passed and everything like that. So the best thing they can do is keep the populace distracted. So there's always something going on, and this time it just happens to be a race war. But they propagate this thing over and over again to keep the country distracted about what's really going on in the government and what's really going on within.
A while ago, it
Bamboo
was
and-
terrorism.
Yeah, so I mean, they do this in an effort, but whenever you're trying to explain this to the people that just have listened to CNN, or I keep bringing up CNN, but I mean, just any news.
They are the worst.
They are the worst because they came out and basically said they're a propaganda channel. But they listen to them and they actually believe why would the media lie? I'm like, do you not hear the fucking stupidity in that fucking that sentence?
If you don't understand how a YouTuber or a media outlet makes money, you know, okay, fine. Why would the media lie? But they lie because it fucking lines their pockets.
Yeah, gets clicks.
Yeah,
clickbait works because it gets clicks.
I don't understand how these people just like look at the media and go, oh well, they're telling me the truth. I mean, back in the day, I mean, I'm not saying the media was telling more.
There was a sense of pride with journalists, though.
Yeah, but they're like back in the day, like the media, they tried their best to be unbiased, and then the more and more money that became involved in media, the more and more it became corrupt, and it became, oh, people actually listen to us, people actually trust us. So now there's no way I could go work for an anchor at one of these big media outlets and knowingly spit that shit online, out to the people. I would be fired really quickly because I'd be like, this ain't happening, guys. This is bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It makes me fucking sick. It seriously does.
It gets irritating, that's for sure.
Like, I mean, there are some days where it's to the point where, like, when I finally get online for the night or whatever to play a game and I hear someone bitching about something very minute and something that does not need to be bitched about, I'm like, really? This is your problem? After, like, everything that's you've seen or heard that day that is just downright ridiculous, you know, you're complaining about this? Really?
Yep.
I mean, it irritates the living shit out of me where I just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I think you guys know what I mean.
Well, do y'all watch Big Brother?
No. Well, no, I've seen one episode, I think.
Well, there was like on TMZ today, I happened to be walking through and it was on or whatever, and they were talking to this rapper about Houston or whatever. But in the left hand side of the screen, that it was kind of like a Sports Center. It kind of shows like what the next topic's coming up.
Oh yeah.
And it said Big Brother rape controversy, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna stick around, and, try to figure out what the hell they're talking about, because I've been watching Big Brother every season, and I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I've not seen anything inappropriate or anything like that, so I'm trying to figure out like what's going on. And so apparently, like, while one of the guys that were in the, like, what they call the HOH room, like the head of the household, the ones that basically runs the house for the week, he's up there talking to one of his friends, and it was about another house guest that was down running around doing whatever, and he was joking around saying that if that guy stabs him in the back or goes against him, that he's going to fuck his wife, and he was going to tie his kids down and make them watch. It was laughing. It was a poor fucking joke.
Yeah, it's a very bad joke, but a joke.
But they turned it into the fact that he said he wanted to rape his wife. And I'm like, do y'all understand like what a joke is? It's just a joke. Except that, you can call it out for like being a terrible joke, but it's still a joke. Like if
Dude's got a sick, twisted sense of humor, but
yeah. Unless you can bring up some sort of history of like him having rape charges brought up against him over and over again, and you see that this joke might be an actual leaning towards his actual his tendencies, then otherwise it's just a joke. Nothing to like. It's just like call it out. Like house guest makes a stupid rape joke online, and move on. But they turned around to like made it look like he was a fucking rapist. Like there's something that this guy needs to worry about when the show is over because his wife is in danger. And I'm like, this is the media. This is what the media does. They take a story and they twist it because it brings people in to watch. It makes more money because of the commercials that are playing on the air. And then you got people that are dumb enough to go, oh, yeah, well, that's that. Of course, he said he's going to rape her whenever he gets out. That's exactly what's going to happen. And it's just the people, the media that does this to me, like, they should be held, to me, accountable. Like, there should be some way to, like, the freedom of press has gone too far. Because now the press can do whatever the hell they want, drag your name to the mud, say whatever they want, and they're protected.
See, it is very poor that logic is never brought into these kind of situations, even though that guy is full of shit, just a shit joke. Fucking people like that, mostly though, they can't follow through with getting a drink with you the next day. They'll flake on that, but yet they have this elaborate plan to tie kids down and rape their mother, and it's like, really? I mean, this guy can't, like I said, follow through to go grab lunch with me the next day.
Yeah, and they went and talked to the guy that made the joke, his family, because his wife apparently, I guess, got pregnant like right before he left to go be on the show, and he was during your HOH, you get a letter from home. It's one of your times that you get to actually your people from home get to communicate with you, and it's through a letter, and that's where he read that she was pregnant, and so they went and talked to her about, like, how does that make you feel now that you're just freshly pregnant with this baby, and they had to issue some sort of formal apology to the other family on, I'm like, y'all get taking this to a whole nother fucking level where it didn't need to be taken. Like, what was the purpose in this? Like, why is everybody talking about a shit fucking joke? Just, why can't you just simply call it a shit joke and move on? Like that, but no, they had to drag it out and drag the family into it, figure out what the family thinks about it, make them do apologies. It'd be different if, like, he actually did it, but shit, it's just, I don't know. It's just the state of the world where jokes are just like taken as fact. I don't know. I don't want to live in that type of world.
I know, right?
Hell no.
Who wants to live in a world where you have to worry about microaggressions constantly?
Yeah, like that. Like, what's his? I can't stand his fucking ass. The guy that does Real Time with Bill Maher.
Oh yeah.
When he said that house Negro joke or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like the guy. I hate the guy, but he's a comedian.
It's a goddamn joke.
Yeah, it was just an ill joke. Whatever. Move on. But they people wanted him fired, and I always knew he was a racist, and no.
he's a little older, and back in those days, that was actually a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was fucking figure of speech.
Yeah, but he was like really far. He's very far liberal. So he's like definitely on their side, but the liberals were calling him out. I always knew you was a white supremacist, and he was a He's a fucking comedian.
That's what these guys don't get. Because for the real communists, they spray painted Antifa and the Black Bloc spray painted to every city they go to. Liberals get the bullet too. So they think appeasement is gonna keep them on their side. Playing the fence so that if these guys take over, hey, we weren't speaking out against you, so spare us. No, dude, no.
No, do you see that some of the media is actually calling out Antifa now?
Yeah, they're starting to have to.
Yeah, MSNBC, Joe Scarborough or whatever. I can't stand that guy either. But he said that they need to label them as a like, I think either a terrorist organization or a gang or whatever, and they need to be held accountable, and they need to be called out and despised, rebuked just the same as the white supremacists on the other side. The Berkeley mayor said they need to label them as a gang and arrest them and charge them accordingly under the RICO Act and everything like that. So it's actually like seeing more and more of these. Like I'm finally glad to see some of these liberal media organizations still calling them out. But then, of course, you have like Chris Cuomo from CNN equating Antifa to the beach, the men who stormed the beaches in Normandy. And he basically he tweeted out saying that
The
Antifa
irony. Oh my
is
God. Weapons grade irony.
anti-fascist. So if you are against Antifa, you are a fascist.
It's just.
And I'm like,
Oh.
so I love the people's responses. Like, so I'm a freedom fighter, and they stopped my rally. So if you're stopping my freedom fighter rally, you're against freedom, right? I mean, that's your same logic. I just
it's
CNN has gone full on. They're to me like almost a communist network now. But it was actually weird to see the Berkeley mayor call out Antifa because I thought it's either the Berkeley mayor or the Berkeley governor that is funding Antifa. Like,
yeah, I know, right? There's a whole bunch of California and other state like legislatures and board members and shit that are high level like Antifa or other group.
Yeah, and there was they interviewed they interviewed the people that were there at Berkeley about like what they thought of Antifa, and there was a lot of people saying that they're violent thugs, they need to be arrested, or and the Antifa, one of the heads of Antifa was like, the media's painting us all wrong. We're not, if somebody's getting in our, your face and pointing their finger in your face, then if you just happen to hit them, then that's just kind of like how life happens. And I'm like, that's not.
You know how life happens?
That's not how that works.
No, that's not really that. That's not a. I mean, oh God, it was just so. And then somehow, Antifa is not as bad as the KKK.
I know, right?
So do you guys remember the videos that used to circulate? I would say probably 2014 or 15, where they had Black Lives activists standing out in front of Jewish shops, talking about how the Jewish, the genocide in Germany never really happened. Did you guys see those videos?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yep.
So and these guys are supposedly against fascism. So, real quick, if you guys remember anything about history in Germany, one of the biggest things that they did was the German union workers would stand in front of the Jewish shops and block anybody from coming in. That was one of the biggest things to getting the Jewish people out there to go into poverty, is they made sure that they heard them where it counted, and that was through the financials. So these guys are saying that they're against fascism, but yet they're going to go ahead and stand right in front of a Jewish shop and say that stupid shit. I mean, do you see a pattern here, or is it just me?
Ignorance is bliss.
Apparently.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain to these people that BLM and Antifa, the organizations, are just as bad as the organization as the KKK, and they were like, well, no, because the violent ones are just the fringe. I was like, it doesn't. I'm not even talking about just the people that are beating people up. I'm like the actual fucking organizations, the heads of the organizations, the ones that make them the calls and tell people what to do. That's where the shit gets passed down. Yeah. I said Black Lives Matter came out. One of the heads of the Black Lives Matter movement came out and told white people they need to give up their home and give it to a black person.
Yep.
If you're rich and you're dying, you need to you need to will it to a black person and not will it to your family.
It doesn't get more racist than that, people.
Yeah, and I'm like, they're like, well, I don't know, I never saw that. I'm like, how? Please tell me, like, how all of a sudden, like, all these one little off things like this, like these people just happen to never see, but they see everything else. And Antifa, basically the heads of Antifa basically saying, our motto is to punch a Nazi, and basically if you're not with us, you're a Nazi. How are these organizations that are spreading hate from the top down different from an organization spreading hate? It's just a hate from a different color person. And they were like, well, KKK has people in the government and police forces. And I'm like, so does Antifa.
Yo, Antifa's been around for fucking decades, dude. Apparently.
Antifa's been around since the Nazis.
Dude, Antifa like helped jumpstart that whole situation.
Yeah, they actually have. And so it's like, it's just so. It's mind-boggling how like we're the apologists, but yet they're the ones making all the excuses for these people.
Bruh, like I don't understand the ignorance of these idiots. It's like almost every one of these morons that are Antifa or Black Lives or KKK. It's like these idiots never picked up a fucking history book in their life. Like they didn't even go to school. I mean, if they did, then obviously the teacher wasn't good. Like the teacher was terrible.
Wow, you can thank Common Core in our modern school system for this kind of thing.
Speaking of school, I've told you guys, like, when I lived in California that my kids' school, at first, when it got bad, the whole national anthem thing, or the Pledge of Allegiance, you could sit down for that, and then they just stopped doing it altogether in California.
Yeah.
Well, here in Nevada, it's quite the opposite. They make you stand, put your hand over your heart, and all that stuff, and they actually do the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I was pretty happy to hear that.
You know, it's funny.
And people.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, people still can't figure out the whole hate about Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, didn't he like lose his job?
He still can't find a job.
Yeah, he got let go from the 49ers, and now no team is picking him up, and they're basically saying that the NFL is boycotting him, but that nobody's came out
and they're racist.
Yeah, nobody's ever came out and said they're not hiring him because of this reason.
He's a terrible player.
Yeah, first of all, he was like his stats were terrible.
He's mediocre at best.
I think his whole sitting down during like creating that spectacle around him was so that way he could maybe look for job security.
Didn't he get a lot of money off of this? Like, didn't he like already like make a shit ton of cash from the NFL on the contract that he?
Yeah, the 49ers like paid him out of his contract. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that he did that so that I think he wasn't really caring about like the black struggle, as he said it, but it was more about I'm going to create this media circus around me so that way if I get cut, I can claim it was because of this rather than my stats. Because he was already sitting the bench. Like, he wasn't a starting quarterback anymore.
Yeah, let's forget about those stats, huh? Those pesky little numbers that keep rearing their ugly heads.
Yeah, so now people keep bringing him up like going, well, all he cared about was the black struggle. Like, the dude's the furthest thing away from a black person to know what a black struggle is.
Yeah, I know. What was that? Okay, so when they bought him out, wasn't it like $15 million or something stupid, ridiculous like that? It was like, it was a high amount of money. It was right after he became a millionaire. And then all of a sudden he's like, it's about the black struggle. I'm like, oh, really? If it's really about the black struggle, motherfucker, give your $15 million to the black community.
Yeah, I'm sure they got a charity that could use that, or you could buy like a lot of the Black Lives Matter people houses.
He did give money to something, which that's cool. I mean, I'm okay with that.
All of it?
The thing is, though, not all of it. No.
Okay, then no.
The way I look at it, though, is that you have a high profile position. Well, you're a football player. You're one of the talked about football players. But football is a time where people come and it's a team sport. Like you don't win on your own. When you're playing in football, you get told over and over and over and over and over again, do not bring attention to yourself, because you would not have made that touchdown if it wasn't for everybody else on the team. You wouldn't have been able to throw that pass if it wasn't for your front line. I mean, there's all these different things. It's a team effort. Team. No I. And what he did on that team effort was bring attention to himself rather than his team. It was no longer about let's watch the 49ers play football. It was let's watch the 49ers to see if Colin Kaepernick is going to do this. It was all brought.
Right.
He diverted the focus from the 49ers to
And
himself.
people don't want to watch that, as ratings have shown.
Yeah, and so whenever they cut him, like, what other team? If he were to go anywhere, and it was a team effort, whatever, and then you were always trying to draw attention to yourself of everything that you've done, everything, whatever. Me, and you get fired, and that goes on your resume that you got fired for that reason. What other team in any job that's a team focus is going to hire somebody like that? Nobody. They're going to be like, this guy's not going to fit well with the team. So it has nothing to do with the fact that he's black or whatever. That it's the fact that he took the whole focus of the team spirit to himself. Like he has his stature that he had, his clout that he has, carries beyond the field. So he has more than enough time, like on his off days, to go march in a Black Lives Matter rally, to be on the front lines of the Black Lives Matter movement, to do whatever he wants to do to draw attention. Because like if he's actually out there marching in the rally, the cameras are going to be there focused on him because he's a high profile player in the rally marching, kind of like they were with Nick. Whatever his name is, that the guy that married Mariah. Nick
Cannon.
Nick Cannon. Whenever he went to a Black Lives Matter movement, that's where he needed to use his voice to be heard, or his his popularity, his platform to make a stand. Not in a team effort. You don't need to draw in a team like nothing but team. Anybody who draws the attention away from that, but isn't really drawing it away is helping the team out, is going to get cut. No matter what the circumstance is. The only way that they I guarantee you, if he would have been sitting down during the national anthem, but he would have been going out and San Francisco was winning Super Bowls and he was like kicking ass in the passing and the stats, he'd still be quarterbacking for the San Francisco 49ers right now.
Sure.
Guarantee you.
Yeah.
Because I know if I say that, somebody's going to point out, well, what's his name? Terrell Owens was a showboat, always drawing attention to himself. Yeah, but Terrell Owens backed up like the shit on the field. Like he helped.
Yeah,
the whole
Terrell
team,
Owens could play.
Yeah, so that's the big difference. If Colin Kaepernick was just okay, like he was okay. He was good in college, but he didn't excel in pro. He didn't really do that well. His stats show it. So whenever you're a mediocre player for a high profile team, and you're drawing attention away from the team, and you're not really contributing to the team sport, chances are you're not going to make it, past that season. And nobody else is going to want to pick you up because they're like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not paying you $30 million so that way you can like draw the attention and not give me a win.
All that, but like you can't sit there and say you're for like fucking black struggle when you were raised in the suburbs with a white family. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, I mean, if you don't want to know what black struggle is, know what it means to literally
Just like,
fight
bro,
for
you
what
are,
you need to keep. You
are one step above fucking
middle class.
Don King.
Yeah.
Like, you might be black, but you were literally raised by white people in the suburbs with money.
Yep. I just don't understand the mindset personally. Like, I didn't want to. I mean, I really don't hate on the guy, right? Like, I really don't. Like, I don't hate him. It's just.
I think he was trying to.
Away, man?
Well, I think that's the thing. He was a middle of the road at best player, so I think he was trying to, gin something up to give himself, a bigger profile or something. Who knows?
So you could put it on his resume, Black Lives Matter activist. Like,
I honestly think that he only did that so that way he could try to keep pressure his team from firing him over his stats because of the fact that I mean, if it might look bad. It's kind of like that. you know, if it would look bad for the team to fire you because you're the one standing up for, you know, the struggle, then he thought it was going to be, you know, help save his job. I don't think he really even cared about the whole damn thing. I think it was more of just like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to save my job. And create it. Why not create a PR scandal around me?
Right. Why not, right? Let's just fucking, let's just be retarded. Let's go full retard. Why not? It's acceptable.
Yeah, I'm trying to find his stats, like, because...
Sounds good. While you're doing that. Hey, guys, who remembers Virtual On in the arcade, bitches?
Remembers what?
Virtual On.
Rings a bell. Is that what's on the screen right now?
Yes.
I remember something like that. I don't think it was called what you're saying, though.
Well, it's not called Virtual On. It was just called Virtual On, and it was in the...
Was there spin-offs of it?
Yes, yeah. It's like, this is Virtual On Mars, I think? Hold on, let me see.
I think I played one of the
This
spin-offs.
is Virtual On OT. So this is, yeah, this is the OT. But they had Virtual On Mars, and it was a twin-stick fighter / shooter beat-em-up mecha game. And in the arcade, you literally set your ass in this weird thing. It was like a cockpit, like from Tron, pretty much. And you just operated 2 twin sticks. That's all you operated. And you went flying around the arena, and every time you got hit, the booth would actually shake. It was pretty fucking cool.
It was probably an expensive arcade game to play then, huh?
Not when you went to a Nickel and Fun. It was like, what was it? It was like, I think it was like 20 cents to play at a Nickel and Fun in California. Yeah. It was fun, though. I played the shit out of this back in the day when I was a kid. Nickel and Fun was my jam. If you guys remember what a Nickel and Fun was, if you guys aren't all too old or too young to remember, should I say. Nickel and Fun, Anaheim, California. You had 2 of them, and they were amazing.
His stats for 6 years in the NFL is 72 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, 12,271 yards, and his quarterback rating was only an 88.9.
88.9, isn't that pretty decent or no?
Let me see I don't think so. I think the most quarterback ratings are like in the hundreds.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, 88.9, like, is that a percentage rating of, like,
No, it's not
successful,
percentage because the passer rating is on a scale from 0 to 158.3.
So he would be above average at best.
Just barely.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just barely above average.
Interesting. I would have figured it would have been a little bit better than that.
Well, that was the reason. I mean, they were already
according-
talking about.
According to, you know, his payout, in other words, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that they hired him out of college. Remember, they hired him out of college, and in college he was like a really damn good quarterback. And so when he transitioned, he did okay, but he wasn't like the standout that he was on the same level as he was in college. And so his contract was a really high contract, but he didn't. What they were paying him and what he produced wasn't congruent to each other, and so they were talking about trading him or letting him go or whatever like that. And then all of a sudden he started this, and then next thing you know, he gets cut. Now nobody wants him.
So, like, do we really want to pay a contract to somebody who's an above-average quarterback? Like,
just barely above average. I mean, we're talking like average would be like what 100, so about 160. So average would be like 80. So he like 89 is not really that big.
In all fairness, though, Colin Kaepernick, before the whole bullshit, let's draw attention to myself, sit down during the national anthem thing, had already brought the 49ers to a Super Bowl. And has still, I think, if everyone just forgets about the national anthem thing and he stops being full of himself, has plenty of potential to take any other team to the Super Bowl with, some practice and that kind of shit.
and that kind of shit.
You know what I mean? I don't really. I have favorite teams and stuff, but I don't sit there and like.
You know,
dissect sports.
you should dissect sports, bro. I mean, we dissect gaming. What the fuck's wrong with you? I mean,
I mean,
I'm fucking
it's
with you, dude.
yeah. Although I don't, Rambo and well, you guys know a bit about football, like rivals and stuff. Get this, I am a Green Bay Packers fan, and my neighbor is from Chicago, and
I'm
he's a
sorry.
Bears fan.
Oh God.
Imagine how that works during football season. I haven't been here for a football season yet, but just imagine how that's gonna go.
I keep forgetting that you're a gay bar fan. I keep forgetting. That.
You like the Raiders, Brimstone? The Raiders.
Oh, dude.
You know what?
Wow.
You know what,
Bro.
man? You know what, bitch? At least I
Dude.
know my team sucks. Okay. Okay.
No, my team.
Well,
my
if you
team's the
admit it, all
Cowboys.
right.
Oh, dude, I'm your typical. Well, I'm not so atypical Raiders fan. I know a lot of my fellow
But
fans
I just want
are
to.
angry
I just
people.
want to. I just
I'm
want
not
to point
angry.
out that
I admit my failures as a team member, fan. So yeah.
I just want to point out that the Raiders this past weekend or during the fight were leading the Cowboys by a very large margin, that they ended up losing the game.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the Raiders
And
kind of gave it to or not gave it. They just were like, okay, we scored enough points, we're done.
Is that what?
Yeah.
Dude, it seems like you know what's. Okay, so. So you know my dirty little secret.
Okay.
Anybody that's followed me has always asked what my favorite football team is. I never told you because of the obvious. So, not to add salt to wounds or anything, but motherfuckers are coming to Nevada. Do you know how much that angers me as a California kid? That infuriates me to know.
Now he's going to be closer to the Raiders' cancer of beings that he could throw a rock to Nevada from his house.
Bro,
So wait a minute.
bro, like
What are they gonna be called? The Nevada Raiders?
Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders. It
Oh my
sucks
God.
so bad.
That's like a cringy name.
I know, dude. And they're like, and I guess right
How do
now,
you think I feel, Brim?
bro? But you
Well,
don't
I'm kind of
understand.
offended because I'm kind of offended. My ancestors were pirates, and
Shut the fuck
that name
up.
Raiders is kind of
Well,
offensive.
No, how do you think I feel? When I was in California, I was about an hour, maybe two away from the Oakland Raiders. Now I'm in Nevada, and I'm less than an hour from the fucking Las Vegas Raiders.
45
That cancer's
minutes to be
following
exactly.
me.
Hey, you know what though? Like the thing that like all my coworkers are like, dude, you should be happy that your boys are coming to Vegas. I was like, you have no idea how much this hurts me inside as a California kid. Like this, like fucking angers me because they're like, yeah, they're spending over $1 billion on this new stadium in Vegas just for the Raiders, and I was like, and I'm looking at like Vegas right now are you guys fucking retarded? Like,
Nobody's
are you
gonna
guys
even-
seriously that fucking retarded? They're gonna spend
Nobody's
that
even
much
gonna
money
fill
on
the
your
damn stadium.
taxpayers. They are. I know that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
That's
ain't nobody's.
Not only that, but because it's Nevada, like everywhere else, I mean, you can go to the gas station here and find slot machines. They're going to have slot machines in the fucking Las Vegas Raiders stadium.
Bro,
Bet me.
like, here's my thing.
They'll have a slot machine, slot machines on like that in front of your seat.
At first, I was like, this could be a good thing because Nevada's a red state, and Oakland Raiders, by all rights, is a red team. If you think about it on the political spectrum, like they're literally a red team. So I'm thinking. At first, I was like, okay, this could work, right? And then I saw the plans for the fucking Raider Stadium. I haven't
seen those.
Bro, I just want to say, it's cancer. I do not support this at all. And
Do they have a bathroom for people that identify as other?
Oh, I hope not. If they do, then I'm done with them. I will never watch a football
They have a
game
they
ever
have
again.
they have a bathroom for people who identify as a football team fan.
All I have to say is Raiders is my team, but it doesn't mean I have to like everything they do. For instance, this Vegas move is fucking stupid. What the fuck? Their coach, I guess the old guy left and his son took over, right?
Oh, you mean Al Davis left?
Yeah. I think Al left and his son's taking over, or he's taken over. And I guess they've been doing better, which is good, all right? So what do you do? They've done better. Good for them. So far, they've only made it on their name alone, as far as an actual official NFL team. That they're literally selling on their name. They're not selling on skill anymore. Every time they get a good player, guess who gets sold? The first one that gets sold. Their only good player that they get from the previous draft pick. So I'm like, why the fuck do I want to focus on this goddamn sport anymore if my players keep getting traded off for 6 shitty players? What the fuck?
You give us that player, we'll give you a 35th round draft pick next year. I mean, that's kind of how it is.
Jay Caesar says, Brim, please, my football team is the Dolphins. They fucking suck.
The Dolphins just got someone good, didn't they? I thought they did.
Bruh, like, oh, God, do I even start with the quarterback that we had? He was good,
Carr?
God damn it!
He's one of the highest annual paid players in the NFL.
I know. And you know what's funny? We haven't won an NFL in how long? Like,
Definitely a season, I think.
Did you see that the Detroit Lions signed their quarterback? Now he's like the highest paid player in.
Oh, Stafford, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're making more than Drew Brees. Like, not Drew Brees. Help me here.
Oh, the Patriots guy. I know who you're talking about. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah.
oh, the guy that came out of retirement or some shit.
No, Tom Brady didn't come out of retirement. But I mean, how do you come out? Like, how does any quarterback making more than Tom Brady? Like, Tom Brady should be the highest paid quarterback because he's like one of the best quarterbacks.
True.
Like, how does that work? Like, I'd be, if I was Tom, I'd be like, the Detroit Lions are paying you his quarterback more than me. Something's wrong. Because the Detroit Lions fucking suck.
How dare you, sir? That is Pete's #1 team.
Yeah,
Pete's in California. He probably likes the 49ers like most of them over there.
I used to. Yeah.
See, I told you.
When I was a kid, I was big into them, but that was when it was like Montana and fucking, that was legendary times for the Niners.
That was back whenever the Dallas and San Francisco games were fucking awesome.
Right? And yeah, I watched them go through like 4 Super Bowls. It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
You're a San Francisco Giants fan too, huh?
No, I don't watch baseball. I barely watched football.
I can't stand watching. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
I don't watch
cannot
baseball,
watch baseball
basketball.
To save my fucking life, dude.
Yeah.
Basketball,
I love baseball.
Well, not everybody's gay, Shane, but you know what? There are people that suck dick.
I'll only watch.
Metro and Jamie are gay, and I bet you they're like, ew, baseball, the bat and the glove and the sweat.
They're like, ew, you gotta run.
I only watch basketball like whenever like the playoffs happen because then it's only a few games. But I tried watching the season. Well, back whenever like Michael Jordan played, I never missed a Bulls game. But after
I used to watch the Bulls when it was Jordan.
When Michael Jordan left, I lost a lot of interest in basketball. But now I'll pick it up like whenever like the playoffs happen. I'll watch the playoffs and once my team loses, then I'm just like I'm done.
Dude, I'm even worse than that. Like, yeah, I like the Green Bay Packers, favorite baseball team, St. Louis Cardinals. I'll swear by them all day. But the only time I even watch highlights is when it's playoffs time. Otherwise, I don't give a flying fuck. I don't care.
Yeah, I used to be I'm a Cubs fan, but
Oh.
Gay.
but I haven't watched like I haven't watched baseball in forever. Like back whenever I watched baseball, it was back whenever like Ryan Sandberg, Mark Grace, and Andre Dawson were with the Cubs, and it was always fun to watch. But now, I mean, after that big lockout they did, where they talked about where they weren't even going to have a World Series because they were wanting more money. I lost almost all respect for the fucking baseball players. So I just
Rambo, wasn't that in the 90s?
In the lockout? Or the Andre Dawson?
Andre Dawson. That was the 90s,
Yeah, that was
wasn't
like
it?
in the 90s, yeah.
Oh, God. All right.
So,
Yeah,
so you feel a little bit better about your age there, Shane?
A little bit.
I didn't really care. So like whenever like the Cubs were in the World Series, I didn't watch. I didn't really give a shit. I get like because it just when you're making as much money as they're making and they're holding out saying you're not paying me enough. I'm like, yeah, I've kind of lost respect for that. So I don't watch baseball.
Whether you're a baseball fan or not, though, with the Cubs in the World Series and winning the World Series, that's the first time in like nearly 100 years.
Hey,
So
Yeah,
that's a
it was
historical moment.
Cubs are officially
was
more
quite a feat.
successful than communism.
Yeah,
They have won
Jesus
more
Christ,
than one
really?
in 100+ years.
Is that how we
But-
sum this up now, guys?
But
God damn it.
I didn't really care though. I mean, it just wasn't a thing.
I could give you a thing.
Oh, speaking of things, you guys know Twitch was down today, like completely down.
Wow.
Nope.
And it didn't stay down? Fuck!
No, the API and the channels were just done. I mean, it was the #2 trend on Twitter. I mean, it was horrible.
Wonder what all these people that depend on Twitch were thinking.
I know, right?
Like, how am I going to be able to afford the payment on my Lamborghini?
I know, right? I spend 12 hours a day streaming, but I need a Porsche. What, for the fucking 2
Yeah.
hours you're awake after that?
Yeah.
I mean- Yeah, I would never understand that. Like, if you're a content creator for a living, I know from experience that, and so do both of you guys, all fucking three of you guys, and anyone you talk to online knows from experience that creating content takes a long ass fucking time. You're at your computer or playing your game to record or researching whatever you're talking about for so long, you don't have enough time left in the day to drive a nice car to show it off. So I'll never get that shit.
Yeah, especially when they have like a bunch of them. Now, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a vlogger and you vlog your life going out, I mean, maybe I can see that because you're driving and making content at the same time, recording your content.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I don't understand like the gamers or stuff that have like 3 Lamborghinis in their garage. I'm like, why? Like, why would you even need one? Like, I mean, sure, you got the money, but don't you think you probably could have used that on something different, like more practical for like what your life is, you know?
I mean, most of these like high price cars, you could buy a house in some states for that
Oh yeah.
amount of money.
Now remember though, I mean, there's some of these high profile streamers and content creators that all they do is basically spend the hours like recording it, and then they're done. They have other people that edit it and put it all together and then post it for them, or do all the research for them, and all they got to do basically is just read a script.
Yeah, read something in front of a camera. Yeah. See, but then I don't even think it would be fun. Like if it ever got to that point for me, I think I would just be done. I mean, researching and playing the game and stuff, that's half the fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. Same here with that. Like I couldn't imagine like just basically, all right, you got to sit down in front of a camera and read. Like, okay, yay.
Yeah, it would take
I mean,
the passion out of it.
But I mean, I guess if you got to that point when you were making, you know, probably a good $500,000 to $1 million a month, you know, maybe. Well, I don't know, maybe.
Shit, I think Rice
maybe I
Gum
could-
makes like 100K a video or something like that, doesn't he, Brim?
He possibly does. I know that there was at one point like that. There was I forget. I think that's Jake Paul with his month. Like I think Philip DeFranco did it to where he could basically, if he was getting premium ads, like what he would be making per month from his views, and it was close to $5 million a month.
See, that's insane.
I'm just thinking, if I was making $5 million a month, and all I had, I mean, obviously Jake Paul, you know, vlogs and shit, but if I was making $5 million a month, and all I had to do was basically just read a script and so, like somebody else put it all together. All I had to do is get in front of the camera and do it. It might take the passion out of it, but that money in that check at the the first of the month would definitely put the passion back in it for the rest of that month.
Bro, I'm gonna say this: I'd only do it once.
Yeah, $5 million. Yeah, as soon as I get the
He's
5
like,
do it
1
one
month,
amount.
that's all I need.
I would do it the one time and be done. I'd be like, yo, what, 5 million you said? All right, peace, motherfuckers, I'm out.
Like I'm
You
invested.
could,
quick.
yeah, you could if you invested that, like live off that the rest of your life.
Yeah, that one woman, I guess she just won $750 million in the lottery.
Yeah, what the ticket came out of like Massachusetts or something.
Yeah, something up north or whatever, and I was like, I said the sad part about it is it's like these people like that will half the time end up broke, and they're like, everybody around is like, well, there's no way, like she gets a check for like 300 million, like there's no way she can spend all that. Like, yeah, there is. Like whenever you go from not have like living paycheck to paycheck to having never have to wonder if you can spend this money, never have to worry about counting your money ever again. You eventually run out because you've been wanting all your life, and now you can afford anything, and so now you're like, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, and it all adds up in the end, and you're like, oh shit.
Your wants go from, or they change from like a box of cereal to the fucking factory that makes the cereal. So it's different. It's
yep. And so I was like, the people that usually stay rich are the people that were rich to begin with.
Yeah, they don't change their needs.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I would love to have the opportunity to spend $300 million.
I'm not sure I could let that much go at one time.
I couldn't let it go at one time, but I mean, just the opportunity to spend it would be nice. Like, instead of really going, babe, do you want to go to the store? Like, babe, do you want to go to France?
Yeah, I couldn't see myself doing that though. I really couldn't. I mean,
I'd buy me a jet and be like, babe, I'm gonna go get a pack of cigarettes. Fly to Russia, come back, and be like, here we go, got some Ruskies.
Carton, a pallet
of Ruskies. No, I just come back with a carton, so I can go back to a different country the next time for another carton.
I need cigarettes this time.
I'm super simple. I'm a very simple person, so I don't think I could spend 300. It's hard at the beginning of each month when I'm like, oh, all this has to go to rent and the electric company, and that's not even that's chump change compared to $300 million.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you my gaming setup would be fucking
ludicrous.
Yeah, it would. I mean, it would be one that like I'd have to have MTV Cribs come to my house just to see
my dudes. Like, if I had that kind of money, I'd be investing into the fucking LG paper TVs and the Sony paper TVs to be.
Oh, the OLEDs?
Yeah, the AMOLEDs, and I would implement them into every wall of my house. Like, they would literally be the entire fucking wall. So when you walk in,
you don't need windows no more. Just turn on the fucking nature channel.
That's my point. That's exactly where I was going with this. If I had $350 million, yo, this house would be worth probably a lot more than what they built it for. Like, I'm just saying.
Do like Cloud Atlas, where he just waves at the wall and the whole wall becomes a screen.
Hey, yo, imagine having that bitch hooked up to Alexa. Yo, be like, Alexa, Google porn. Yeah, boy. Perspective blowjobs. Anybody with fuzzy or juicy fleshlights hooked up to USB so you can imitate. Am I going too far with this? Let me know.
No, that's actually a thing now.
Yeah,
you can have sex online now.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
No, seriously, there's a device like that would hook up to your PC, and I'm not sure if you use it with someone else in another location, or if the device simulates whatever person you're, fancying or whatever.
When you dingle dingle, you want to tell you
yeah.
Yeah. Yo, guys, so
I would definitely Tony Stark in my house, though.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I would have Jarvis in a heartbeat in my house.
Yeah, you guys remember Ask Jeeves, the Ask.com thing? Yeah, that guy would work for me at that point.
Yo, who would you guys have for AI in your house? It's hard to choose between Alexa and Jarvis, because Jarvis is
I'd
more...
have Jessica Alba.
Oh,
Morgan
God.
Freeman.
Why have the
Oh.
AI, though, with Jessica Alba if you had enough money to literally have her, if you know
Well,
what
I told my wife if we ever win the lottery, I was like, I hate California, but I just move next door to Denver.
He's all... Anywhere that's, like, a fucking, like, a boner or a clit hair away from her, I'm good.
I'd be like, babe, we got to go borrow some sugar. I'm like, I'll be back.
And some eggs. And possibly some fucking blinker fluid.
Blinker fluid.
Oh, yeah, Rasputin from Destiny would be pretty cool.
Yo, you know what?
Ghost.
I would have a
The little
virtual...
ghost.
Dude, I would
from
have
Destiny.
I would have a virtual WCW ring running on the wall with Alexa versus fucking Jarvis, and it would be the what was it, the iPods fucking, or the
Siri?
Apple, have Siri as a ref. Oh yeah, I would do this. If I had the money, I'd do it.
You can buy a part of California and sell it to Mexico.
That would be fucking hilarious.
They're in debt. Yeah, they'd be like, all right, y'all want it? Y'all can have it now.
I'm asking you for a cool 640 million though, because I did put 300 million into it.
Give me half of the cartel's territory and we'll talk.
Oh fuck! You're like, hey, so this contract is like literally stipulating that I have every opiate that I could ever possibly want in my house with weed for life, right? Because if
And
so,
with all
we're
these
good.
junkies to run it for me, okay, you got a deal.
Oh my god, that would be fucking hilarious.
I love it, man. I would love to have that kind of money. You know,
You're like, would you like to be porn star rich or drug dealer rich? Pick one.
I'd be drug dealer rich.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like high-end
Like-
drug dealers, the one that
Yeah,
never
like
get
cartel
in trouble.
Rich.
I mean, yeah.
Cartel rich.
You mean the
There's
ones
like-
that have the like they have like the contracts with our government and shit? Yeah, I would be like that guy.
Yeah,
The
cartel,
ones where there's like
cartel
thousands of people below them that have to get busted before that person gets in trouble. I mean,
Oh, I love it.
What I would do is I would run a cartel, but I would run it from like have a Mexican house, like to where like a trusted person, like say Brim or Shaner. They would run my Mexican house, my cartel.
I'm not going to Mexico, so
I would run the cartel though, but from a non-extraditing country to the United States.
So,
that way,
somewhere in the
if
UK.
anybody- Yeah, so if anybody got caught, they could never get me no matter what.
Like, if you turn this man in, we'll give you a plea.
Like
bargain.
you can turn me in all you want, they can't get me. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I did it. Sorry.
You're like, oh, I'm sorry, but I live in Switzerland, and
Yeah, it's like, I'm
they're-
neutral.
yeah, their government will not cooperate with you. So I'm just saying.
I would hire like buy Blackwater.
Yeah, buy Blackwater.
So that way I own the paramilitary group. They could just like patrol my house for whenever they send the SEAL Team 6 over there to kill me.
Yo, wouldn't that be some funny shit? You had like the Blackwater, ISIS, and and like all these like social groups like Antifa, Black Lives Matter, duking it out to whoever's gonna have your head.
Yeah.
how much money do you think North Korea has as a country?
Not much.
So
As a-
it's less than the lottery was this last time, 750 mil.
Yeah, I think so.
That person should just take the money then and buy North Korea. Can you imagine all the cool stuff you could do with North Korea?
You're like, yo, first off, let's get the first thing of order of business. Those poppy seeds, yeah, we're gonna expedite those to the U.S. for the drug trade, and we're gonna be funding the Rebel Alliance versus the Imperial forces. Wait, this is
And I
Star
would
Wars? Sorry.
I would tell Trump like, look, I know I just bought North Korea, but I'm keeping the nukes.
I'm keeping
Just
the
in
nukes.
case. Just in
And your
case.
fat little Asian leader, you know, he can figure out what hot Crisco feels like.
Yeah. I would let the South Koreans come over and pay money, like pay an entry fee to torture them.
Hell yeah.
And then we'd broadcast it on their communist network.
God damn it.
You could sell bottle rockets and charge them to shoot him at the dude. I mean,
Yes, and I would draw up my own constitution, be able to make my own law. Like we're not having a government here. The government is me, and here's my constitution, and this is how we live.
That'd be cool.
And
don't
be a
they have
fair
like fiber
constitution.
internet there too?
North Korea?
That I don't know.
No. You're thinking South Korea.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The civilized of the two Koreas. Yeah.
You know what? Google tells you everything, so it does. North Korea.
No, see, I don't want to Google that. It'll fuck up my search history.
Yeah, really?
Bro, you know what's fucked up about that, Rambo? Is remember at the beginning of all this, we told people to Google things, and now they're like, yo, Google is facts. Hashtag facts.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Google,
God
Google.
damn it! That's not what I meant by saying Googling shit, you fuckers! Like,
Yeah, especially when they bring up the Wikipedia link, and I'm like, like you might as well just gave me a CNN link at that point. Internet access available to Democratic People's Republic of Korea, but only permitted with special authorization and primarily used for government purposes. Some broadband infrastructure, including fiber optic links between major institutions.
they have major institutions over there? I thought they didn't. I thought it was like all
Their
ran by
government.
him. Yeah.
Panda Express might
Their-
come from
their
over there. No.
The government there is the whatever what they call it, the whatever institutions. That's what they.
Well, you know what's really interesting is when you watch their videos. Like, have you actually Googled any of their videos yet, Rambo? Like, it is interesting.
I've
Like,
seen some.
According to North Korea, they beat us in every single war that they were ever in with us or against us. Like, never mind the fact that we have historians that have actually recorded these things of us literally beating the living shit out of them. And somehow they won. Every single time they've won. So I was like, what?
Their version of history is a little bit different than reality. But I've been mainly seeing the videos of him like firing missiles, and he looks like he just like cummed in a girl or whatever because like the smile on his face and
That's the closest he'll get to penetration.
He's such an evil fucking man.
But you know what? If he bombed California, we'd be good.
Listen, like, thank you notes, man. Where's Pete at?
I'm here.
You've just been like really quiet.
Yeah, just,
North
haven't
Korea
had
is like
anything
usually.
to add.
My dude,
North
he's
Korea
been
is like
masturbating.
your.
Well, kind of, he's been low-key masturbating this whole time, so...
Touching
his wiener.
Touching his wiener.
So, Pete is with his girl, and, if they're married, they're never gonna have sex again. So, I mean, he's kind of making up for lost times before they are
That
lost
shit
time.
is such like a crock of shit when you get married. You never have sex again.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
marriage increased that for me.
So, I think we've talked about this before, but my boy here, Shane, can be on his deathbed, and his girl's like, yo, wanna fuck? Like...
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it in the podcast, but yeah, she is like that. She's done that once.
He's like, yo, this motherfucker could be literally on, like, fucking 3 different pain meds and a breathing apparatus, and she'd be like, yo, your dick's up. You want to go? Like,
in all fairness, I was in between breathing treatments in the hospital when that happened. I did have an IV in, though.
My dude, that shit is hilarious. I still crack up over that, because I told Valerie about that. I was like, yo, can you believe, like, this guy was literally on his deathbed and she wanted to fuck? Like, I mean...
Well,
like,
priorities, dude.
I don't even know how shit works. I mean, really, I don't. But,
you're like, I was high as fuck that night, and I still don't remember the sex like she does. She said it was the most best thing in the world.
Apparently, morphine is also known as Viagra. I don't know.
Well, I'm drinking. This is my third round, and yeah, I'm pretty confident in myself. I'll just say that.
Why? It's not like it's bourbon. You know, it turns you into a porn star.
No, yeah, that's true though. That's true. Bourbon does do things to me.
Bourbon's fucking nasty, man.
Yo, but when it's Fireball bourbon, dude, oh my god. Or should
Well, I don't know.
Or should I say, oh my cock? That's all I gotta say.
I watched
Oh,
I watched too many of them movies where like the rich people like order the bourbons and they like what do they call? They say they don't say double. They what the hell's a dry and extra dry and or what is it? Not that's
You're
gin.
talking about well, gin and vodka.
Martini?
Single malts and double malt, like the.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so whenever I thought, well, shit, you know, I'm gonna go up there and order that because that's what rich people do. And I ordered it. I was like, they said like rich people drink ass, man.
No.
Shit fucking is disgusting.
No. Here's the thing. If you so there's a huge there's a huge like I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so if you got your shit out of a plastic bottle, that's why it tastes like shit.
No, I got it out of a glass bottle behind a bar, and then they poured it into my glass, and then it was.
Was it top
disgusting.
shelf? Was it literally top shelf?
Yeah, it was.
It was disgusting. Really?
Yeah, I hate fucking
Huh.
bourbon. It's disgusting. I've never been able to try any bourbon like it.
Yo, okay, so as a old school all the time drinker, not actually to be confused with an alcoholic, because I'm not. I cannot drink forever.
People
I'm
give
good.
us a bad name.
So I've drank everything from bottom shelf to top shelf, and I'm gonna say this: like top shelf bourbon for me, like I can't have it by itself. I have to have it with something, and it's always been pretty good. So like you might like bourbon may not be your thing, but have you tried like top shelf vodka?
Oh
Like a-
yeah,
like a
I love vodka.
Oh, dude, like that shit is so good. Like I could literally survive on like screwdrivers all day if I had to. Like,
Oh yeah, I love vodka.
Nothing like a carbonated orange juice with vodka. Oh yeah.
I can just drink vodka straight. Like I love.
Really?
Yeah, I love.
Yo, I tried that.
Shit's
dude.
like paint thinner, man. I don't know why.
vodka was always like my drink. I always had like just a drink out of the bottle.
Have a good night, Jay Caesar. Thank you for watching. Retweet us on the way out. Thank you.
So y'all played it,
What?
and so now I've got to ask.
Destiny 2. Is
Peter-
it good? Yes, we liked it.
Peter might have played it too, but how was the Destiny beta?
I
did not.
actually liked it. I can't fucking believe it, but I liked it. I actually enjoyed it. I even did a video on it, and I really enjoyed my time with it. Even though I sucked ass at the PvP, I still liked it. I was surprised it ran so smooth. Shader, however, I know got to experience an even better version than I did, and I thought the game looked fucking beautiful.
So he played the PlayStation 4 version.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I played it at 4K and it stayed locked at 60 FPS the entire time. Nothing ran too hot. When it comes to performance and graphics, the game is fucking amazing. However, Destiny's not my type of game, but I still enjoyed the beta. It's definitely something I'm gonna get later down the line, not at launch or anything like that, but
Chris,
for the
y'all
story.
But y'all played a little bit of the original Destiny, right?
I haven't.
Not very much, but
I
yeah.
haven't.
Okay, so now since you played a little bit of the original, so like, didn't it feel like that in that beta? I mean, I know you got just a glimpse. A very small, minute glimpse of what the story was, but didn't it feel like that one little mission had more of a story and more of a complete story than that whole damn game?
The fucking intro, the cutscene intro has more of a story than the whole original game. I've been arguing with Ryth. Well, Ryth has been arguing with everyone about it, but he keeps saying, "Go back and play the first one." I'm like, the first one is boring as shit. And he goes, "The story's good."
It's not now that since they've added all the expansions, everything flows really well. Like it's a really well done story now. But like the vanilla, like when Destiny launched compared to this beta, it's night and day.
Well, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way, Rambo. I fucking liked Destiny. Okay, I didn't like it as much as you did, obviously, but I did like Destiny. Here's the thing. There's two big differences between the two. The first game, I could give two shits about the fucking story. I didn't give a fuck about who the Traveler was. I didn't give a fuck who the wolves were. I didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. All I did was I skipped through most of that just so I could get my rare and legendary items in my game, okay? In this game, in this beta, I fucking cared. Like, I didn't think I was gonna care. I thought I was gonna fucking hate it. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna play this garbage. I played it and I fucking cared. This is what they should have done in the beginning.
Yeah. I cannot wait for Destiny 2 to launch like that. Like, I'm gonna be like, I just want to go through that story completely because I
almost want to play the first one just so I could brush up on like the small details. And
I'm actually installing the first one right now. If you want to install it too, I can.
Yes, I started the download in the middle of the stream because you know things. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm gonna probably end up playing it with Shane, and we could probably give a better opinion about what we think about the game if we actually played through it. So.
I mean, they've done a wonderful job with this one so far. Like from the little bit that we did see.
Yeah.
And from what I hear is like everybody on PC seems to have loved the beta. Like it ran almost perfectly on their systems.
So if Destiny 2 is any at all of a success on PC, this would be a good reason as to why they should release the first game on PC. Like, honestly.
They should re-release the first one on PC.
It's kind of hard because... well, they're both MMOs. So
yes,
you'll be competing with the player bases for population. Like, I don't see who would buy Destiny 1 and Destiny 2,
especially knowing that none of your Destiny 1 stuff goes into your Destiny 2.
Yeah, and then play Destiny 2, and then play Destiny 1 after Destiny 2 launches.
But that's the point, though. Yeah. But that's the point, though, because the PC market would go backwards.
I know from personal experience, being like best friends with a Blizzard fanboy, Brimstone, that if it's put on that Battle.net app, people will fucking buy it. Like,
I think that they should at least release a story mode, not so much like all the
I'd be okay with the story mode,
but just get put a cheaper version of the complete story, the 4 raids, and let people go through it to know like where they came from to get to Destiny 2.
I would be okay with just the story mode. I would be okay with only the story mode. And I think it's going to happen because a lot of people at the very beginning of Naruto Ninja Storm, the very first game, they said that was never coming to the PC. Those developers did. They're like, yeah, this isn't coming to the PC, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Here we are, all these years later, the PlayStation 3 exclusive just launched on the fucking PC for $20 fucking. So I have hopes that we will see a Destiny 1 on PC. I am fairly confident if we can have Quake 3, Quake 4, Counter-Strike 1.6, Counter-Strike Source, the very first generations of Unreal Tournament still running online servers that are damn near full, then I am pretty fucking certain we will see a Destiny 1 being put on PC.
Oh, maybe later on, sure. After Destiny 2 has waned in interest, they might release like a bonus pack with
remaster or something.
Sure, and like extra DLC or maybe some exclusive, skins or cosmetic items for 2 or something like that.
I think, like I said, I think it's going to happen. Regardless if it's going to be a year down the line, 2 years, 5 years even, it's going to happen. And I think a lot of people are going to be happier for it because, like I said, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be on older systems that will love to play that shit. I can't tell you how many of my PC friends loved Destiny on the Xbox and the PS4, dude. Like, they loved that game. That was their life. And they've told me many times that if this came out on the fucking PC, they'd be playing it on the PC as well. So Bungie would be getting almost triple the investment in returns on one platform because they've already sold what they could on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 3, and the PS4. Oh yeah, and the 360. So, you know.
And there are easily people that would triple dip in that Destiny game just because of the name.
We all have. Like, how many times have I double or triple dipped in games, or like you have, Shane? Like, there are games, like, for instance, I owned Grand Theft Auto 5, guys, on the PS3 when it came out, when it was launched. I own it on the PS4. I own it on the Xbox One. And guess what? I own it on the fucking PC. So...
Yeah, I'm actually the same with Grand Theft Auto. I bought it for my PS4, my Xbox One, and PC.
Well, you guys are single-handedly keeping Rockstar in business.
Fuck yeah, baby!
What are you talking about? Rambo's responsible for last month fucking PlayStation sales. You don't even know.
No. Rambo's responsible for their first quarter in software distributions.
And the reason their PlayStation streaming service is still alive, the PlayStation TV shit.
If it wasn't for me, PlayStation, like Xbox, would be winning this gen.
Hey, speaking of your online shit, Rambo, so you're unlimited now, right?
Yes.
So you
internet?
Yeah, so you no longer have to run 2 lines. You're back down to 1.
What'd you have to do?
Had to pay. They added something. It was where you pay an extra $50 a month for unlimited.
See, how I knew there had to have been something like that. That's so ludicrous that they don't have a fee you can pay to just turn yourself into unlimited.
Bro, like, so this is where where
But
he
yeah, I'm
lives
back down to
and-
1 line.
Dude, this is where the difference is between where he lives and where I live. So in California, Cox are fucking rock stars. Like, they love their people out there. They take care of them. They have unlimited lines in even some of the most rural of areas, okay? Where Rambo lives, they treat their people like shit.
Right.
Like, they treat everybody like assholes out there for some reason. I don't understand
Well,
why.
they can because there's no competition here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, like, Suddenlink out here are fucking rock stars, but like Suddenlink on the East Coast is like amongst the worst ones. They're like right up there with Cox on the East Coast. Like, like Jesus Christ. Like, can't we just have a unified, positive fucking internet provider competition going between
I don't think anybody wants that though, because dude, Google's trying, and if they get control of like everybody's fiber, that's there has to be different companies.
Well, Suddenlink's in the midst of putting fiber out here. Like, they have certain businesses.
AT&T just did my house, so they're expanding too.
Yeah, see, Metrox is saying, like, back in Louisiana where he's from, like, Cox is the worst fucking one. And that's in the same coast area as where Rambo's at. Like, I think
I've never had a problem with Comcast, so.
And see, Comcast on the East Coast, they're also really fucking bad.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, they're like fucking shysters out there, dude. But you know what's funny is AT&T out here is really good, but AT&T like in the California area is really bad. Like,
Yeah, they're just now getting fiber. They've only had DSL for the longest time, and it's silly.
Yeah, it was SBC Global for the longest time. It wasn't
Who
even.
the fuck buys DSL anymore?
Right? There's actually okay. I take that back. So where we live, where me and Metrox lives, because he lives with me now. Where we live, if you go like say 20 minutes outside where I live, there's a ton of people. Entire communities still running off of DSL because that's all that they have. That's all that will that's pretty much willing to go out that far. Suddenlink doesn't go out that far. CenturyLink doesn't go out that far. I think, So, I mean, there's a lot of people that operate off of DSL. It's actually considered a normal thing out there. But in the rural areas where I live, on the outside of town, there are people out here that actually have semi-decent DSL lines. Like, they actually have shit that goes up as high as cable does. And it's like, whoa. Like, I wasn't expecting almost damn near broadband speeds.
DSL is the speed is dependent on how many users are sharing the same hub.
Yeah.
So in rural areas, I mean, you know, you're not going to have thousands or tens of thousands of people using one hub. it's going to
maybe
be
like a few
hundreds.
Yeah, a few hundred, yeah.
So I mean, you'll get the most speed you could possibly get through DSL.
Right. And see, like that's why, like if I do move,
And that's if that's all they got. Well, that's all they got.
And see, if I do move, like, because I was just talking to Metrox about this tonight. Like, if we do move all of us together with Shane, I want to, like, the first thing I'm going to do is look up areas that where we're interested in moving to who has the strongest internet infrastructure.
Who has fiber and cable.
Yep. Like, fuck this nonsense. We are, like, I am not
There's
sacrificing
AT&T's
my
fiber map. There's Comcast fiber map. There's Google's fiber map. There's anybody else. Okay, where has service?
Because we're all streamers in this house. Like, Shaner, Rambo, I mean, fucking Metrox, Jamie. Like, I'm sure once we get Jamie going, he'll start streaming. Like, I mean, there's just everybody here streams on everything. My girl streams on her TV. The living room TV streams. Every device we have streams something. So, like, we need that unlimited, and we need that high bandwidth so that way we're not walking on each other's fucking lanes.
Yep.
Yeah. I wish CenturyLink was better because they're actually hosting a lunch picnic thing here at my apartment complex. And if you're a Suddenlink customer, which I am, and you switch to CenturyLink that day, they give you like a bunch of bonuses. So I really wish CenturyLink was better, but from what I hear, it's shit. So.
What kind of bonuses do they give you?
$100 Visa gift card, and if you sign a contract, your bill's like $40-something a month, exclusively for Crown Point. I was like, oh shit, it's such a good deal.
What's the speeds though?
Highest is 25 down and 3 up.
Ouch.
I mean, it's decent, I guess.
Yeah, but
for $40,
for 40 a month, yeah, that's not too bad.
But again, I don't have cable. Like, everyone watches Netflix in this house.
Right.
I upload videos. I stream. It just wouldn't work.
Yeah, 3 up is that's harsh for streaming.
So we're coming up on the 3-hour and 20-minute mark. Do we have anything else to talk about besides me rambling on in my somewhat, buzzed stumper from drinking 3 rounds of rum and coke? Have you guys been playing anything? We'll start off with Pete. Pete, what you been playing, man?
Overwatch.
God damn it, Overwatch?
Yeah.
You fucking
It's Overwatch.
Casual. God, you're so casual.
I know. I got it fixed, and the new comp season's coming up, so.
I don't blame you. I mean, you're kind of a faggot, but I don't blame you. You're good.
Gotta get my practice in.
Rambo, what have you been playing, man?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I haven't really been playing much of anything. I've been stuck to Game of Thrones. Trying to get through it so that way I can get Uncharted Lost Legacy done. What are the game? Oh, The Last Day of June came out. I want to get through it, and I want to get through both of those in platinum then before Destiny 2 comes out. And then, of course, Knack 2 is like coming up here soon too, so a lot of shit that I gotta play, and fucking Game of Thrones has my damn attention. And it's not just as easy as turning the Game of Thrones off and playing a game, because the whole time I'm playing a game, I'm wondering, like, is somebody gonna kill Cersei? I'm consumed at this point. And so I have to get it all the way out to where I'm forced to have no more Game of Thrones before I can go back to my life.
All right, Cyrus, you have a good night, sir. Thank you for watching. And, yeah, we need to get you on here again one of these nights.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Game of Thrones is pretty much playing your life. And,
pretty much, yes.
Dragon Queen is taking over control of your body. Because your mind isn't ready, correct?
This is correct.
I don't blame you. Shader, what have you been playing, girl?
Dude, nothing but Battlefield 1. I have cracked out on that multiplayer. It started out just like trying to get some multiplayer achievements to catch up with Rambo, or try to attempt to. Because you can't really get many achievements in most multiplayer FPSs.
Just remember, I got all those within 1 week, and I haven't played it since.
Yeah.
And you've been playing all month.
Well, see, I got really
Uh-huh.
hooked on Battlefield 1. Like, there's so much I'm finding in the game that I didn't find at launch, and
If
I
you were
regret
good
not
at the
playing it more than.
if you were good at the multiplayer, you could get those multiplayer achievements.
I've already gotten most of them.
Oh,
I can't get the. However, there's you have to level all the classes. Well, not the vehicle classes, but the standard classes up to level 1, which doesn't seem hard, right? I can't hit the broadside of a barn with an old-fashioned sniper rifle. So as far as that goes, I'm probably not going to get the sniper one.
All right, so Battlefield 1, that's pretty good, pretty good. As for me, I have been playing bits of the Destiny. I've been playing bits of Unreal Tournament. I've been playing Quake Arena, which I'm fucking loving it, by the way.
Quake Champions, you mean?
Quake Champions. I absolutely love that game. Like, I have been hooked. I really enjoy these games. Like, these arena shooters have been really taking up my time. And I need to get on some. I need to get on to some Overwatch with Pete, because from what you guys have told me, like, the new patches dropped and there's a whole lot of new shit that I need to catch up on. So
gay.
There's deathmatch now.
I'm down with that. I'm totally down with that. Oh man, so we've had a really good podcast, really good turnout tonight, you guys. We've had a lot of people here. We've broken our peak record so far, which is really nice. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's come by, retweeted us, supporting the show. Let's encourage Pete to get some fucking social media so he can stop being a bitch.
He's not on Twitter, guys, so you're gonna have to harass him on Discord.
We could just give him the Game Talk Podcast Twitter. And that way he doesn't have to technically create his own Twitter.
I don't even want to use a Twitter.
He could
Come on, Pete, don't be a bitch.
He could still be in his boycott stage, but use somebody else's created Twitter. Like, we could work this out.
You know,
don't you want to interact with people, Pete?
No.
On any other platform.
There's a bunch of lovely people on Twitter.
Rambo knows them all.
Sure there are.
Especially if you follow Rambo at Rambo's Corner.
Remember, that's a 0, not a no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are reasons for that.
You'll get to meet a lot of the wonderful people.
Because Rambo keeps up with the retards for some reason. I don't know why, but he
I'm starting to think they keep up with him. I don't think he keeps up with them.
Oh, they definitely. All I gotta do is
keeps up with them, dude.
All I have to do is type something that has Xbox in the title or in my tweet, and I don't have to add anybody or anything like that, and my mentions will go fucking crazy, because I swear these fucking Xbox fanboys like search Twitter for the word Xbox, and they're like they scroll through the thousands of tweets that mention Xbox, and they're just like, okay, they have like, I guess, speed reading to where they look for negative words, and if it has any sort of negative connotation, then they've got to bring it up. Like this one guy, like I was just talking about Recore. I hated Recore. It was a very big disappointment. It was all just about Recore. Nothing about Xbox. Nothing about anything. Just about Recore. And then of course they're like, well, I didn't see you say shit about No Man's Sky. Like, why do you have to bring No Man's Sky into this? Like, what? Like, seriously, like, why do you have to bring it down to a PlayStation game versus an Xbox game? Like, why can't we just discuss this shitty fucking game, Recore?
And from what you told me, like, No Man's Sky would be a better choice of the two.
Yes, it would.
I think I'm gonna buy Recore, that like special edition that's coming out.
That's actually the complete game, from what I hear.
Yeah, that's what I hear too. If I wanna know anything up to date about Xbox, I just gotta look at fucking Rambo's Twitter and then look at all the bleeding vaginas that are on his Twitter, cussing them out over an opinion over video games, and that's where I get my updates from. I'm like, oh hey Shane, did you know this came out today? And he's like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, that was Rambo's fucking tweet.
Yeah, did you see that at IGN? No, Rambo's Corner on Twitter. Me too, man. Me too.
It's fucking hilarious. I can't believe the amount of people that follow you that claim that they hate you, but like, they give you more attention than I've ever seen of like any one of my cam girls get on fucking Twitter, dude.
Oh, it's insane. And I don't block anybody, so I just every time I see my mentions, I'm just like, oh shit, like what is it now?
So you're a classy broad. You take it all together all at once, huh?
Yeah, I don't believe in the whole blocking thing.
All right, that's cool. So I just wanted to let you guys know here, between my podcast mates and people that are watching this, we are almost past the threshold on our subs. Anybody can take a guess as to where we're at versus where we were?
Wait, what? Now we're past the threshold of
Or
what?
what?
So a lot of people last week, they were in our comments fucking with us, of course, and they were bringing up the fact that, you know, Rags isn't here, we're not gonna get our views, no one's subscribing. They're kind of shitting on us, in other words, right? So I went into our subscriptions, and I was pleasantly surprised by what these people say versus what we got. Let me get into the creator account. No, that's not what I want.
Do you know how many people have told us we came for Rags and we stay for you guys? I mean,
lot.
legitimately.
There's quite a few. Quite a few. You know, okay, so when somebody was when douchebag was saying this about us, we were barely at 90 subs. Within the last 24 hours, we shot up from 90 to 91 more subs. So we gained 90 subscribers in the last 28 days. I mean,
damn.
We're at 191. Nice. Our views have been surpassing our sub count quite a bit, and there's sometimes where we're missing it by like maybe 30 views. I mean, that's not a bad ratio. That's almost the same exact ratio, you guys, that we had on the other channel. We're doing really good, and I don't understand why. I mean, what's so bad about that? I think that's a really good thing. I think that's great. That's a hell of a lot better than I was expecting. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like a lot of these people think like we hate Rags or something. We don't have nothing against him. He's the one that just went and did his own thing. It's all chill.
I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't hate him. In fact, he's been actually paying attention to a lot of what we've been saying on Twitter. He's been interacting with us even more than when he was in the podcast. I think I actually talked to the guy more on Twitter than we were after the first night of us getting on Discord together. Like, no joke. I have no problems with him, but I do want to say I do want to say thank you guys for subbing to us, coming over here from the other channel. Spread the word. If you guys know of your friends that are actually watching this, you guys have been watching us since the other channel, bring them over. We appreciate it. Pete's our newest member, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a mainstay unless he's got cancer, and then we can't really help him at that point, you know.
He does play on PC, so.
I mean, he was like Rambo's 6th choice. I mean,
quick play on Overwatch is complete cancer. That is true.
But on a side note, though, we did discover that Pete has like 6 kids that he doesn't know about.
Serious, dude?
Wait, how would you know about him though, and I don't know about him?
They came and talked to us.
Wow.
And the hog and dog told Rambo, so there's that.
Your sister's roommate's best friend's uncle's girlfriend, roommate twice removed from the 3rd family, 6th time removed, uncle told us.
That's a lot of removed.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a little more than 6 degrees of separation there, bruh.
But I believe them though. I think they're pretty credible.
I think it's pretty legit. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, that's a lot of kids that you have. I mean, you don't believe in pulling out or what? You don't believe in pulling the prey or what?
Dude.
Bro, condoms are for quitters.
Right?